Hey guys, and welcome to the very first Battle Royale of Total War Warhammer 3. I'm a Rubber Duck of War, and boy oh boy have we had a very rushed start to the stream. Unfortunately, a load of people had to drop out of today's tournament because there was a patch, which is good news though. Apparently it fixes a load of the bugs and crashes that we have been experiencing in the game. So, a lot less contestants today, still a decent pool for you guys, don't worry about it. We're going to have 4 quarterfinals, 2 semi-finals, and a final, all of which are best of ones. Now, this is the one build Battle Royale special, which means you pick an army, you design an army, you craft this army from birth until it is a young blossoming destruction machine. And you have to keep with that army the entire tournament, regardless of anything. So you can go really balanced and try to take on all comers, go all in on cavalry, for example, or all in on range, and hope you get a little bit lucky in your run. It can really be some good times, and we've had some fantastic one-build Battle Royale tournaments over the years. I'm really excited to delve into this one. And up first, we have Loopy, the champion of the people. I'm pinning that out there now. Loopy is the champ, because he is the only player today, I believe, to bring Nurgle. Up against the world beater 68, though, an absolute stunning general himself, bringing the forces of Slaanesh. We are ready to hop into this in just a second. But quack, everyone. Hope you're all good in the hood. I will quickly drop a link to the challenge page for you guys so you can see the bracket today. We do have Dragonborn facing off against the Golden Floof. The winner of that will be making their way to the quarterfinals and the stream as well to face Jay Phoenix. Before then, though, we have World Beater versus Loopy. Human Boy, yes, the YouTuber himself, taking on Stormrunner and Midnight Sun against Calibrimbo, which is, I believe, is 2 players. We've seen Midnight Sun on the channel. I don't think we've seen Calibrimbo on there before, but should be some good fun. So let me quickly leave a little link to you, lads. Here's a link to the challenge page. Wicked D, the champ of the people. How are you, dude? The Evermord, hope you're all good, man. World Beater Loopy, Fimo, made for fighting, and McRightface as well. How's it going, guys? How is it going? I hope you guys are all good today. I'm actually really excited to delve into this, so we're going to pop straight into the game and let the madness unfold. Hope you've been keeping up the good YouTube work, Mr. McRightface. Feel free to link your channel. Oh, so a big fat juicy stretch. Nurgle versus Slaanesh. Oh, baby, this is about to be redonkulous. Now, we have a load of anti-large tools, it seems like, for Slaanesh. We do have an Exalted Great Unclean One of Nurgle coming in, which is a good pick. The Exalted Great Unclean One, probably the best unit on the Nurgle roster. It is so powerful. Compared to everything else, you know, which is a bit meh. A bit meh, or can be considered a bit meh. It depends on the format as well. I think Nurgle in Domination is not great, but it's not terrible, particularly if you get nice early game domination. I have found in land battles they can get abused really, really easily. But this is a one-build Battle Royale situation, so less so, because normally what you do against Nurgle, just kite them. There's nothing they can really do. They don't not that fast. They do have flyers, though. It can be a bit deceptively fast, because Forsaken, you know, Furies, Death Heads, all that kind of glorious stuff, they do seem to be, you know, just get shot into pieces. But up against Slaanesh, it is the tanky boyos of Nurgle and the mass healing versus the sheer damage output of Slaanesh. I'm very excited to delve into this one and see what happens. Lots of Cafe players today. Lots of very similar Cafe builds. So I can see a meta already forming here. And here we go. Should be some good fun. So let's delve into this build and have a cheeky little look at the forces of Nurgle. Up in the skies, we have double Chaos Furies of Nurgle and a load of Nurglings. I forget Nurglings actually have Vanguard deploy. One of my favorite units in the game just thematically. They just want to hug, and at the end of the day, you know, who are we to tell them they can't hug someone just because they have some world-ending diseases, kind of, you know, at every single fingertip and orifice. Load of Forsaken making up the main battle line, which I like to see. Up in the skies, we have one unit of Plague Drones of Nurgle. Now, these are the combat variety. I've said this like 50 times already, but I love the animation in this game in general, but particularly on those units. Remind me of the Thopters from Dune. Here's the big boy himself, the Exalted Great Unclean One of Nurgle. He's swinging his bell around with joyful glee. We'll high-five the Nurgle. Let him know that he is loved. And we have a Soul Grinder. Pretty fun build. Honestly, I like it quite a bit. Loopy, a very, very skilled player. Normally very talented with Wood Elves and High Elves, so kind of interesting to see him go for the complete opposite in this game and go Nurgle. For the forces of Slaanesh and World Beater, it is Marauders dotted all the way along. We have some Hell Scourgers in there as well. Very cheap, very wide, very traditional. I like to see it. We have double Cultists of Slaanesh as well, with their summon, of course, of Demonettes. And the model, the classy, the ever exquisite horror of the world, the Exalted Keeper of Secrets of Slaanesh here. Coming in with Seductive Glory, we have the Ballet of Blows, as well as Acquiescence, and spell-wise, there are no spells, unless I'm going to say, oh, Acquiescence is a spell, what am I talking about? So just the cheap spell there. Some decent cavalry with Hellstriders of Slaanesh, and it looks like 3 units of them, in fact, over on that left-hand flank. And on the right-hand side, we have some Seekers of Slaanesh, double unit there. Should be pretty awesome stuff. Looking forward to delving into this one. Let me quickly... Oh, my phone is frozen. There we go. Nice matchup. It is indeed, Sir Xberg. Hope you're all well today. You've almost unpacked the game. No worries, J Phoenix. You're the only person in round 2. Only technically you're on round 1, but hey. You've looked up your first matchup. It's not looking good for you, did you say, Storm? Don't worry, man. Got to believe in the heart of your troops, and you'll be fine. Nurgle beats Slaanesh in land battles, I think. There's so much to sustain. Yeah, oh yeah. We've got a Nurgle Senpai in here for you guys. If you guys want to simp for anyone, you're simping for Nurgle today. Let me have a little sip of my drink. Oh, that's juicy stuff. Gone for a San Pellegrino today. Very classy. I mean, annoyingly, there's no... Have they fixed it? Is there a chat box? There's not a chat box. Boo. Alright, let's quickly message the lad and just let them know they can start. Start when ready. Good stuff. Cool, looks like Human Boy has... Yeah, he's just ready to submit his build. That's fine, bud. Thank you for that. Looks like Grand Cathay. Yeah, Grand Cathay, very popular today. They would pick the majority out of anyone. I'm fine, hope you too. I'm all good, man. I'm all good. It was a bit of a rush today because we had about half our people drop out, unfortunately, because there's been a big update to the game in it. The update's not actually big, but the unpacking takes so long, so... it's been a bit of a rush start to the stream, and it's been a bit of a crazy day, but hey, I'm all good, and honestly, what's going to get me through it is going to be some awesome action, and I love this Nurgle build, I really do. The Soul Grinder applying a lot of pressure. Nurgle can take their time, there's no point, rushing forward here to engage the enemy, obliterate them from range, and just look at the Great Unclean One having a whale of a time as well, like lifting his legs up, vibing, and that's what we're all about here on the channel. So the Plague Drones and Nurgle be taking up position on the right-hand flank with the Furies. Complete air dominance here. Looking maybe to jump the Seekers of Slaanesh even. If they can overwhelm and swarm them, it might not go too bad here. The Soul Grinder pounding down the enemy from range now. Slaanesh are going to love that, but their bodies shall not, and it seems like many of them are starting to die. Balance power dead even, which is what we like to see at the start of any battle. Cavalry starting to whip round the flanks here. The Triple Cavalry are going to be quite problematic. However, the Exalted Grand Clean One is going to kill all the infantry. There is, though, a lot of cavalry, plus the Exalted Keeper of Secrets on the cards. That could be a little bit of trouble here, although I am expecting the Forsaken to grind down the Marauder front line pretty damn tastily. So it looks like the Hell Scourgers were the ones that were focused down at predominantly, it would seem, by our mightier Nurgle machine of Death and Carnage. Those spears are also getting clipped. And now the frontline engagement is well and truly underway. Nurgles roll into little balls and charge into action, and Forsaken grinding their way through the enemy, as it looks like the Ballet of Blows has come early for this Great Unclean One, who goes in with a good old head blast. True Chad right there. He does have acquiescence popped on him. There's not too many places for him to run, but he is fighting amongst his own troops here with Nurglings, Forsaken, and in come at the Flies as well. Expect them to do some pretty decent damage here, and we get a lovely line going right down the wings there of the Marauders of Slaanesh. In comes the cavalry now. The cavalry's been pinned in place by Forsaken and Chaos Furies. This is fantastic play by Loopy. Keep that cavalry away from your beautiful Great Unclean One as long as possible, because it will actually probably win the fight against the Exiled Keeper with the amount of support it currently has. On the far side, Forsaken and Nurglings are grinding, baby, up against the Seekers of Slaanesh, who are going to be having a pretty good time getting some pretty majestic kills there. And down in the back, we are now getting some of the summons, and it is just an absolute flustercluck of madness, which is what we love here. So all the cavalry being pinned in place. If we get some lovely breath attacks going down the line, or those tear-shaped attacks, the Streams of Corruption on the Hellstriders, I'd be a rather happy ducky. Frontline, Nurglings are holding. Forsaken are chewing their way through the enemy. One unit got a little overzealous, though, and is hunting down the enemy. Needs to be pulled back here by Loopy, as his Soul Grinder and Exalted Grand Clean One are going toe-to-toe here with the Keeper of Secrets. Needs to be careful, though. We are getting a heal go down. It seems like actually on the Plague Drones, interestingly enough, which have done some decent damage. Looks like it was cancelled as he gets shoved to the ground. That Keeper of Secrets has taken no prisoners right now. Nurglings do move in. Looks like the summon has been pinned in place for now. The cavalry is starting to retreat, realising this is a really bad situation for them. They need to fall back out of here and whip up and around where possible. Balance power is still dead even at the moment. It looks like the Flies are struggling to get up into the skies once more. And interestingly enough, the Exiled Keeper of Secrets has actually given up in pursuing the enemy lord, and is retreating to try to take down the enemy infantry with Seekers of Slaanesh pin in place, and a lovely swirling animation is going to allow him to hopefully free up these units. And in comes the Exotic Grand Clean One, though. Acquiescence has been popped on him, lowering his speed and melee defense. We also have those nasty cultists of Slaanesh constantly hounding and harassing him Looks like he's about to receive a lovely little bit of a heal, as well as a fascination, causing him to rampage, hopefully, but he's got enough health to overwhelm that. Forsaken are doing a fantastic job in the front line, as Forsaken have throughout the years, grinding through a spearman. It looks like we've got some Slanesh forces who may come back. Furies are flying high in the sky right now, and it's going pretty good for Nurgle, I would say. Does a little bit kind of slow pulling out by Worldbeater with his cavalry has allowed the Forsaken really to wrap up some heavy tolls. There's no reason for this cav to fight in sustained combat like this. And sustained combat is where Nurgle really do shine. You have Nurglings holding the line all over the battlefield. Certainly not over yet, but this Greater Demon, the Greater Unclean One, is just such a nightmare to deal with, man. Because it has that Mortis engine effect and it's so tanky, all this infantry and cavalry just get ground down. Now, the Furies have rampage up into the skies. They're just flapping around. And we've got a grind time fight coming on. Now, Soul Grinder's trying its best. It's been very, actually pretty damn good in the middle. Just kind of been a nice little backbone and buddy for the Exotic Great Unclean One. Acquiescence is popped. Ballet of Blues is also popped. And this is the time, this is the hour. The Exotic Keeper needs to kill this Great Unclean One, but no one kills one of those fast. So there is a summon coming in, a cheeky late-game summon from one of the cultists. Is it going to be enough to turn the tides? I do not think so, but you never know. Forsaken are coming back from frolicking in the trees, and are going to get a nice rear attack on the Marauders of Slanesh. Double Forsaken sandwich, baby. This is going to be pretty damn tough. And yeah, I think these Marauders, although they've actually broken the front Forsaken, they might be able to turn around and countercharge, but no, the Nurglings going to come crashing in, ripping and tearing into the squishy flesh of Slanesh. The middle fight, yeah, the Great Unclean One just doesn't give a damn about your like petty bonus versus large and your huge damage output, because he's a thick boy, and thick boys, they get what they want, and he's up to 49 kills so far. I bet that damage value is absurd, and it is 3.2k damage value so far, and it's only going to get higher from here because he is still very, very healthy. Majority of the infantry of Slanesh has been driven away. Hellstriders are returned to the battlefield. Got the double cultists. They pack a punch, and they have been hunting down that Great Unclean One for the majority of the battle. The beautiful but rather angry Exotic Keeper of Secrets has done a decent job. Damage value-wise is up to a 2.7k, but just hasn't quite had enough punch, unfortunately, to drag down the enemy general, which they're normally used to. Look at that animation. Yes, violence, violence. She swings in and breaks off some Forsaken, helping to save some more of the Slanesh, which is good play there by the Slaneshi player. However, the Exotic Great Unclean One, it is getting close to its healing cap, but it's still got over 8,000 HP right now, and it's just not going to be enough. Balance power is very Nurgle heavily favored right now. See, the Soul Grinders are pushing back the Cultists of Slanesh, in fact, finishing them off most likely here, as it scuttles around on those horrific limbs of destruction. Nurglings keep surrounding the enemy. Look at him go, so happy to be here. The Exotic Great Unclean One. I'm going to go into a cheeky little headbutt. I start with this fight with a headbutt, and I'm going to end it with a headbutt. And in come the Plague Drones as well. Very impressed with the Plague Drone play all good day, actually. One of my favorite units for the Mighty Nurgle. Keeper of Secrets is going to be going down. GG's, well played, but it is going to be the Master Loopy who shall be moving on to the next round here. Lovely stuff. Lovely, lovely, lovely stuff. Nerf OP. Nurgle OP. Nerf? Oh, for sure. For sure. Who's playing today? It was... I've left a link actually to the challenge. If you scroll up a little bit, you'll better see everyone. But that was Loopy versus Worldbeater there. Look, we actually have the names here. Ooh. The names don't pop up here. Okay, that's strange. But yeah, well played to these lads. 4,000 value on the Exotic Great Unclean One. My god, that thing is just a beast of destruction. Almost a must-have for Nurgle in just quite how powerful and useful it is on the battlefield. 74 kills, not too bad. 1.2k on the Soul Grind of Nurgle, 85 kills, a very lovely stuff there. 880 value on the Plague Drones. Good cycle charging around by Loopy, you expect that from him, and they certainly did a good job. Forsaken, 89, 18, 214 and 221 kills. Damage value tends to be in the hundreds here, the mid to high hundreds. I like the play as well by the Chaos Furies now. They're not winning any awards for their damage value or their kills, but that doesn't matter. They pinned in the enemy, kept them away from the Great Unclean One, and that allowed Nurgle really just to grind out the fight, which is something they like to do. As for Mr. Worldbeater, I do like his play of the Exotic Keeper, getting nice and aggressive with 3.2k gold value, and the Cultists of Slanesh, 845 and 660 value on them. The cavalry just failed, man. It was real mid to low hundreds value-wise, and got pinned in place and dragged down in prolonged combats, which is really not where Slanesh shines, but really is, of course, where Nurgle themselves shine. Well played to these two lads. It was an awesome first game. We'll be seeing Loopy in the semi-final. It'll probably be the first semi-final we do, just so he doesn't have to wait too long. we will be moving on now to the next showdown, which, if I'm not mistaken, should be Human Boy versus Stormrunner, which is awesome because we've seen these guys throughout years and years of playing on like Total War Warhammer 2 go up against each other. So I'm excited to see what they can do on the battlefield today. So we have Human Boy versus Stormrunner, followed by Midnight Sun against Calibrimbo, and then J Phoenix versus Golden Floof. Golden Floof taking out Dragonborn today. So let's quickly change the name tags for people. And yeah, Human Boy as well as Storm. If you guys just open a lobby and just do password like 1, 2, 3 or something, I can join it. Or I can host, actually, it's fine. Either way, I'll see if they've got a lobby up. If not, we'll put one up. So it is going to be Human Boy. The Human Boy is definitely a human, not a Skaven. If anyone tells you different, they are lying, and please report them to your local witch hunter. And let us change this to the Master Stormrunner. So, oh, that's a Stormrunner. Stormrunner, there we go. So powerful, the man can literally run on a storm. He's so OP. So, we'll leave here. Let's see if they've got a lobby up. It doesn't look like it, so that's fine. I will host one called Duckstream 2, because we already have one up there called Duckstream 1, I guess. And the password is Quack, guys, if you want to join. Let us copy that. Add slots, and I believe we were on the Kislev flat. So all the rounds are going to be the same. So all the quarterfinals will take place on the flats of Kislev Troll Country, and then the semi-finals will take place on Old Hunt Rises, and the finals on Watcher Ruin. Awesome stuff. So yeah, let me just get this code and send it to them. Oh, they've actually hosted. Okay. It's okay. Stormy Rat password 1, 2. Let's see if I can find. There we go. Awesome stuff. All best of one. Yes, all best of ones today. Yeah, well played, World Beats. Honestly, you had some good stuff, my dude. Don't worry about it. Loopy as well is like freaking scary, man. He's a scary player, lovely dude, but like as a player, he's gonna stab you up real good. Awesome. So it is Corn from Pineapple Conqueror, aka Stormrunner the Legend, up against Human Boy. Oh no! This is going to go so badly for Storm. So these guys already know, everyone knows everyone's builds. It's a one build battle royale today. It is a full cavalry build from Corn going up against Grand Cathay, who have a lot of spears and halberds. So I feel like this is going to be a rough one for Storm to pull out, even with his like level of micro. Hope you guys are ready for this one. What's up, Geese Howard? How's it going, dude? Hope you're all good in the hood. What's up, Lobster Special as well? Lindsay, how are you? Quack, at least I got to watch some action, even though I was unable to join on time. No worries. I'm going to be hopefully getting back to hosting a lot more tournaments over the next couple of weeks. Obviously, like I've explained like a million live streams, so I don't want to constantly bring it up, but like I can't stream that much at the moment. I had surgery, so I have to stream at the moment on my knees. So I'm not allowed to sit down anywhere. And yeah, my knee's basically like a shot for doing it, so I haven't really been able to stream much. But it's all good. Hope you're doing good, Mr. Hong Kong. Slayer as well. How's it going, champion? Good to see you around. And Master Dactor. Sad boy hours, been at work and not been able to play. No worries, Dak, man. I'll have like... Honestly, we might be able to get you on channel for like a best of 7 against someone soon. I really enjoyed those like competitive best of 7s we did. Maybe we'll come with a rule set where you do like domination land battles, like both of them combined. Like the first game, or maybe you get to like pick and ban or something. So like you pick and ban a faction, you pick a game mode, something like that, where we can get both in. That's what I want to see in tournaments as well. A little bit like get some land battles plus domination stuff. Anyway, let's delve into this. So for the Forces of Khorne, we have probably my favorite build in the whole tournament. I'm afraid to say for you other guys competing, but it's hard to match this. I mean, obviously we've got Nurgle involved, but it's just Skull Crushers and Blood Crushers galore, dotted all the way along. Ferocious war machines of blood, destruction, and carnage, looking to really rip and tear into the enemy where possible. We've got a couple of Warhounds, little doggos. These guys are going to be very important to get into the enemy back line today. And with a Herald of Khorne, a.k.a. King Theoden. Arise! Arise, warriors of Khorne! Oaths you have taken! Let's see. He's coming in with Hellblade, as well as a Revel in Slaughter. Two nice buffs there. Locus of Wrath as well. Deadly Onslaught, all the goodness. So very small build. It is tournament legal. He has over the 300 cap. My god, against 2,000, Jesus. So this is very, very meta, like cafe Lambao play right here, right? From Human Boy. You go super wide, a load of cheap infantry, and then a few guns, and like a load of cheap crossbowmen and stuff. It is very, very powerful. It's very reminiscent of how a lot of factions played Total War Warhammer 2, actually. They kind of transition almost the best, I would say, of any of the factions into that kind of Warhammer 2 meta very, very effectively. We have Jade Warriors and Peasant Long Spearmen just dotted all the way along. It looks like he's still sorting out his formation. Obviously got a lot of troops to sort out here. And the Peasant Long Spearmen are going to guard the back. And not only do they get to guard the back, they're going to be given that Ying bonus from the Yin and Yang to not only themselves, but also the Jade Warrior Crossbowmen, which is really quite useful. As you can see here, it does give them extra reload skill and leadership, which isn't so useful, but the reload skill is really nice. It's just a mixture of Peasant Archers and Jade Warrior Crossbowmen in the middle. We do have one fancy unit, though, and of course, Human Boy Yes Yes is a Skaven main in Warhammer 2, so he's brought the Crane Gunners, which are basically Warplock Jezzails. They look freaking awesome as well. I love the models. I always feel bad for the one who's got to crouch down here. I'd probably rather be the one shooting, but I guess your head is a bit more exposed, and you may get shot. So again, you know, pros and cons. We have Miao Ying, the Storm Dragon. Many people a big fan of her. We had some lovely artwork for a guide we did on her, actually, by a writer of Rohan of XMT. And Miao Ying, just vibing, having some really cool animations as always. Looks like Earthblood and Talons of the Night shall be the toolkit of vengeance. So yeah, pretty standard stuff here. I like to see it. We've got some peasant horsemen as well as some halberds in the back. And that pretty much sums up the build. So it's really going to come down to just, I mean, I have no idea how, I'm going to be honest with you, I have no idea how Khorne are going to win this, like, at all. There's a lot of halberds and spears. I mean, maybe just jump at the enemy range and just try and break the infantry from cycle charging might be the only way here. It might be the only way. Let's have another quick sip of our drink. Man, San Pellegrino is such a nice drink. Oh, Pone! I've got a video coming out, and I mention you in it. Nice to have you in chat, dude. I've got a video coming out, a Ogre Nurgle game. I'll probably drop it just after stream, and it features two giants. So I do call one of them Professor and the other one Pone, of course. Of course. What up, chat? What up, Doug? What's up, Spartan Gaming Total War? How's it going, champ? Did you start up a YouTube channel, Spartan Gaming? I think last time we spoke about it, you said you hadn't yet, but you were planning on doing so. If you think Slaanesh is too fragile, Nurgle heal too much, yeah, you've got a real cycle charge a lot against Nurgle if you're Slaanesh. I mean, in Domination it's a bit different because you're so good at keeping Nurgle off the objectives as Slaanesh. But yeah, you know, matchups are completely different between game modes. Amount of bugs in Warhammer 3 is intense. There's a lot of bugs at the moment. I think they have just done a patch. Well, they have definitely just done a patch, and hopefully it's going to fix the majority of the bugs. But I don't think they've done balancing yet. I think that's going to come out a little bit later. They've mentioned that they are going to be doing it. Honestly, like, Double Giant Ogres isn't bad. What's up, Nick? How's it going, champ? Long time no see. Hope you're all good in the hood, buddy. Great to have you back here. Fun fact today, I actually was watching a clip from a TV show and I saw Nick comment underneath the video as well, and I was like, hello there. Quack, quack, I'm going to surprise you. So the forces of Khorne just don't give a damn. Their metaphorical middle fingers are up. I love this weird, like, reposition. So Human Boy was in, like, some long battle lines, maybe expecting some enemy infantry, and then decided to actually go really wide. And everything's just launching itself into the front line. Like, we're going to break through you one way or the other. We do get a shield breaker being popped here on the Skull Crushers. That must be from those nasty Crane Gunners. And the cavalry's just looking to overwhelm the Jade Warriors as quickly as possible. Warhounds are starting to whip around the flanks, though, and may apply a bit of pressure to the crossbowmen. Human Boy's micro, come on, buddy. You need to get your Peasant Horseman and countercharge this. Yes, he does. Oh, beautiful. Lovely play by Human Boy. A tad late, but it's not going to matter that much. He's still going to kill the Warhounds, and the crossbowmen should be well protected. Frontline crumples into small little bits. The dragon has been summoned, though, and a lovely air effect goes down on the Skull Crushers, who are eviscerating that front line. Poor Peasant Longspearmen have been left in the dirt. In comes the cavalry. It is time! Keep driving through them. Drive them to the river. And they just charge headlong. I love this build. Look at the Herald leading his men like a Chad straight on top of the archers, who instantly break pretty much and get forced back there despite having the buffs from Harmony. In fact, they probably would have broken if they didn't have the buff. And the cavalry needs to keep bouncing back and forth. Crane Gunners, bye-bye. You are off this one. Jade Warriors also breaking, but the Peasant Longspearmen are going to be a nightmare to deal with. Though more Skull Crushers and Blood Crushers do float through to the back, charging downhill, swords are ablaze with the bloods of their enemies, and actually crumping the infantry, including the peasants, relatively quickly here, doing a good job now. The thing that Storm needs to do is he has to keep moving. He has to keep moving the units around and taking out the crossbowmen. He cannot allow them to sit there and shoot. He's had a good start in what is going to be an almost impossible match to win. But look at this. So many Jade Warriors still firing in. And the crossbowmen and archers are really adding up damage value-wise now. It was a beautiful charge, but it was a suicide death charge there by Khorne. They were trying their hardest, but the halberds are really, unfortunately, cleaving apart the skull crushers quite badly. In the center here, more Jade Warriors as well. We're dragging down the bone crushers, and it's just a spread of damage. I don't expect any of these Cathay units to be getting insane value here, but maybe some of the halberd units. But it's just so much to deal with Grand Cathay when they go this wide of over 2,000 troops. The Jade crossbows are doing a decent job as well as the peasant archers, and it now looks like the cavalry is kind of being pinned in place a little bit. Spearmen bogging down the enemy, keeping their frenzied beasts at bay, and they're trying to jab them and slowly get through that thick, ornate armor of theirs. Of course, the crossbows will help add up. We're even going to get some hills come in here, and it looks like it is going to be a rather swift and decisive victory for Grand Cathay. I must admit, Storm did a lot better than I thought he was with the builds. This was a real counter build, unfortunately, which does, of course, happen in these one-build battle royales a bit more because you don't know who you're going to be facing, what you're going to be facing, or any of that stuff. But I love that build. I literally love that build. So Storm won the heart of the people and pushed through. But yeah, this, like, it was so hard to deal with. It's a 19 stack of troops up against an elite cavalry build. 430 value on the Herald of Khorne with 39 kills. We have 533, 780, and 560 value on the Blood Crushers. Getting some decent kills, though. And yeah, the rest of the cav, yeah, unfortunately faltered a little bit as well. Miao Ying, 1.8k gold value, lovely air effect spells, and of course, a dragon is normally more scary than a tiny demon. 470 gold value on the Crane Gunners, got absolutely slapped. The crossbow didn't do anything crazy. Halberds, though, 1.2k value, 900 value, 700 value. The crossbowmen really did actually struggle quite considerably here, due to the good pressure of the cavalry, I suppose. And the peasants, yeah, they're all very healthy still in the late game, and some of them even managed to pay for themselves at the same time. Pretty damn crazy, tough matchup, unfortunately, for Khorne there. Normally, Khorne I actually quite like against Grand Cathay, very good Russian potential, but obviously, full cav versus a load of halberds and spears is always going to be a little bit of a rough time. Well played to Human Boy, though. We will be seeing him in most likely the second semi-final, I think, of today, if my maths is correct. And now we'll move on to our third game. But well played to him. Well played to Storm. We'll be seeing Storm, no doubt, back into future tournaments and so forth. And we'll be seeing Human Boy a little bit later on. So up next, let's double check who we have. It is going to be Midnight Sun versus Calibrimbo. So let's do Cal versus Midnight as the names, just so we can fit that all in. So we'll do Midnight. Bum, bum, bum. And Calibrimbo on the other side. We'll do the whole lot on that. Just about fit it in. Yeah, I can host. I can. Oh, Calibrimbo, I think maybe had a mistake in his army, rules-wise. Let's just double check it out. As long as nothing major, man. I know it's like his first tournament, so let me quickly find the build. We can just take out whatever unit like he's got too much of. Boo, 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 boo. Where are you, Calibrimbo? There we go. Is it just not enough troops? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not super used to the new fruit rolls yet, but it looks fine. I don't seem like super cheesy. I have too few models. Take out one unit and just add in some. What's up, Spartan Gaming? Welcome to the world, oh god! Thank you so much, dude. I really appreciate it, buddy. Thank you, dude. Much appreciated. Welcome, welcome. You should now have access to a load of cool new emblems. Likewise, if you message me on Discord and get your status updated there as well. Thank you, dude. Storm got super unlucky, so formations literally didn't matter. Yeah, like, it was going to be pretty tough. Her lightning animations are so bad. Meow Ying is so freaking cool. She's so freaking cool. It looked cool though, like the cavalry like driving through that front line and pushing through to the next line was awesome. So we'll host the next one. It'll just be called Duck Stream. Cal versus I've forgotten who's against. Midnight. Oh, that's wrong. That is wrong. There we go. Host the spectator. The dreaded bugs. Yeah, there's a few. I think that a lot of them have hopefully been fixed, but I don't know. I haven't, like, seen the patch notes really fully yet or anything like that. So we're on the same map for now. Use it. There we go, because they're flat troll country. And I will let them know the message. Oop. Password is quack. Cool. We're just going to get him to take out one cheap unit quickly and just add in some chaff. And there we go. Looks like the lads are in. Just check the armies, make sure everything's all good. So it is Ogres, guys, versus Kislev. So we got our first rank Kislev today. So yeah, I think you just have to take out one unit of Polar Bears and add in some Corsairs. That's fine. Pretty fun build, though. Very fast and mobile. So he's kind of unfortunately being a bit punished by the fact that didn't know the unit cap rule initially. So, you know, he's got these like slow units which don't work with the rest of his build, but it's okay. And the Ogre build's pretty cool. We got some triple gold chevron Noblars, which I'm a big fan of. No nasty Iron Blasters, no Gorges, and no Scrap the Slaughter, actually. So a really cool and classy, I must say, build from Midnight Sun coming in and the Ogre Kingdoms. What's up, Major Muller? You can experience gameplay between bugs? Honestly, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm not doing campaign. Like, I haven't had that many bugs. I know other people have had, like, been a terrible experience for them. I feel really bad for them. It might be a mixture of, like, my PC is relatively decent, and I've just been lucky, I would assume. But I still have had bugs, obviously. Mainly just with, like, stuff landing and, like, the game crashing and stuff, more than, like, any other big problems. What's up, Matthew Coffin? He says, oh, hey, Ducky, how are you doing, man? It's always a good day when you're streaming. Thank you. I'm looking to be getting back. I just want to stream more and more, but, like, I've got to be a little bit careful at the moment. Obviously, take, like, health stuff, like, as more of a priority. But, you know, I'm still looking to do tournaments, like, weekly and all that kind of good stuff. So, glad to have you here, dude, honestly. Really appreciate it. Hello, I'm a YouTuber as well. Awesome. Welcome, welcome, Mr. Extreme Strategy. I'm assuming you do YouTube stuff on strategy builds and so on. Okie dokie. The gentleman playing ogres? Yeah, it's like a gentleman ogre play, you know? An absolute chad, as we like to call them. Right, let's get back down into position so we can cast. The old tab one hurts physically. I have been able to alt-tab most of the time. If I'm loading into the game like old tab, it's 50-50, which is really annoying for casting because that's how you cast, right? So you load into the game, you alt-tab out, you press start recording, then I load into the game. And sometimes it just crashes, and it's so... Oh, it's infuriating. It's infuriating when you have to do it so many times. But the old tab for me... Like, I've been alt-tabbing out this game, like, constantly all day. To hop into Discord to message people and check challenge, and it's fine. So, I don't know. Again, I think it's just a mixture of, like, luck and PC, and as well the fact that, you know, maybe they were fixing this patch. I don't know. For the Force of Midnight Sun, we have triple gold chevron Noblars. They are the bougiest of Noblars. They have some Gucci saucepans on their heads. And they're pretty cool anyway. I love Noblar Trappers, particularly in Domination mode. My god, Noblar Trappers are a pain in the ass, as well as Noblars, actually. So always good to see them in action. We do have one unit of Lead Belchers, very powerful cannon-wielding maniacs there, as well as a double Man-Eater Ogre pistol. So a nice little core of a range for the Ogres, mixed in with some Man-Eaters on the flanks. And it looks like Ogre Balls in the back, so getting a little bit more cheap and cheerful there. We also have Iron Guts on the wings. Iron Guts... pretty cool, great weapons, nice little bit of AP damage coming in from these bad boys, and 90 armor certainly isn't too shabby. This guy in particular, look at him. He is a geese and a half, ready to take the scrap to the enemy. We do have a Slaughter Master of Beasts. Seems like we have a Manticore Summon, we have... Oh god, I haven't done Warhammer 2 in so long, I'm forgetting the names of stuff. Pan's Imperial Pelt, there we go, fantastic spell, always love that one. And the Curse and Transformation of Kadon, should be some good fun. For the forces of the mighty Kislev, it is a mainly full cavalry build, which it might not be the only full cavalry Kislev build actually in this tournament. So we have Wing Lancers, we have double Warbear Riders, we also have some glorious light war sleds, and some more wing lancers on the flanks. In the center, we have double Kossars as well, who don't really work well with the build, but it is what it is. Leading the charge, we have Constantine, or Constantine, however you want to say it. And he's going to be coming with some decent prayers. We have the Song of Winter Sunlight. We have the Lullaby for the healing, and the Battle Hymn for the extra 40 melee attack. It looks like he's also bringing Ursun's Ward. We have the Courage of Sacrifice, as well as Blaze of Devotion and the Brazier Mace of Ursun. So really coming fully kitted out. And we have a rather beautiful Frost Maiden. She's coming in today with Ice Maiden's Kiss, Death Frost, and Heart of Winter. I found Heart of Winter to be far less effective in land battles due to the fact you don't have as much Winds of Magic, so you can't cast it as often as you would like. Yes, yes. The Ogre roster is so rich in good units, they can afford to skip the broken stuff. I mean, Ogres are great. Ogres are really great. Ogres are very powerful indeed. Would you have time for a free-for-all after the tournament to feel up? If I feel up to it? It literally depends on how my knees feel. It's so bad. But basically, because I have like a ration in my lower back, I can't sit on a chair and haven't been able to now for like a stupid amount of time, like 4 or 5 weeks. So, oh god. He's doing a little bad speech. So basically, I have to record whilst like kneeling down at my desk. And obviously, after like 2 hours of streaming, I'm normally like a crippled old man. So we'll see. Hopefully, if I'm feeling up to it, we'll do a free-for-all. If not, I'll probably do like a free-for-all live stream soon or something. You guys. Alright, so let's get this battle underway. It looks like the light war sleds are starting to whip around the flanks with the wing lancers as well. Be applying a little bit of pressure to the mid. Kossars as well are on the approach. Lead Belchers gonna be saying hello as we have a nice cinematic slow-mo shot. Oh my god! Think of the children! Look at these poor lads going down like this. And Kossars are probably not the most elite of people. So they're probably like the young lads of the Kislev army trying to prove themselves. And they have proved themselves by dying in the name of their motherland, which is not what they signed up for, but it is what they shall receive. Light war sleds not going to be fantastic here. They do decent long-range damage regardless, so can poke down the enemy. War bears can be very crucial. We have 2 units of them today. They're going to need to take down a lot of these troops. They have to stay out of the line of sight of the Ogre Pistols, as well as the Lead Belchers. However, Midnight Sun has formed a nice defensive formation. Lead Belchers are just laying it on thick. And, oh, these guys, boom, 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 shooting in here to the poor Kossars, who didn't even stand a chance, unfortunately. And the ground is littered with the dead of Kislev, at least for now. Wing Lancers are going to continue to move around the flanks. They are going to have to make their move at some time, though. Warbears moving in, and this is a good opportunity. Look at the Man-Eater Ogre Pistols. They were slightly out of position, and it looks like the Kislev pair was beelining for them, but nice play here by Midnight Sun, pulling them back through the main battle line. However, there's only Noblars protecting them, so the Warbears should, with good micro, be able to force path their way over these little Noblars and straight onto the Ogre Pistols. Elsewhere, the Polar Bear Cavalry is engaged now with some of the bulls in the back, and they're doing a fantastic job there. Midnight Sun is wrapping a unit up around the flank, though, going for a cheeky bit of hammer and anvil here, which I like to see. And you can see the Man-Eaters, yeah, moving up, round, and straight into the enemy. Lovely play there, good micro. The Frost Maiden is vibing in the middle. Constantine is able to push his way through with more Warbears. Light War Sleds as well can get nice and aggressive and try to push in and shut down the Lead Belchers, who have garbage melee stats. So if you can hop on top of any unit, you'll be fine. Looks like Wing Lancers are going in hard, but going into their deaths, as they are now surrounded and getting butchered by Noblars, Iron Guts, and just a whole horror of nasty enemies. There are some big pockets open up, though, for the Light War Sleds to be able to push in and drive out the enemy. Lovely bit of micro as well coming in here, once again by Calibrimbo, using his Wing Lancers to run down the Lead Belchers and really overwhelm them. Good to see there. And Wing Lancers also going to be sandwiching some of the Noblars. So, though Kislev's build maybe not the best up against his Ogre ones, but doing pretty damn good. Warbears have been forced off. The curse going down on them like that play. The other Warbears, though, are well into the thick of it on top of the Ogre Pistols, which is just where they want to be. The other Warbears do rally, and Light War Sleds just need to continue to get aggressive. Push in. You can use your melee. Don't worry about it. There are only some Ogres. You bounce around. You can do some good work there for sure. The Wing Lancer is going to be falling back, trying to escape from the middle of the fight, looking to do some decent cycle charging from Calibrimbo here. More Wing Lancers can be brought in, and it looks like we're going to get a little nasty spell come in. A little bit of frost coming down. Nothing too crazy. It's only on Noblars. It's not going to do that much damage at the end of the day. Panzer Imperial Pelt comes down the Ogre Balls, which is, decent use if they can get into combat quickly. Because they've done a good job, though, of breaking up this Ogre build and trying to jump and assassinate isolated elements of it. You can see Light War Sleds trying their best. The Warbear Riders as well doing a decent job, though they are starting to get a little bit knackered. They've been fighting hard all day. Frost Maiden as well is going to support the units where possible. Winged Lancers continue harassing this element of the build. The more Ogre units you can keep away from the Warbears, the better. And they're doing a decent job doing that. It seems like there is some buffs and debuffs going down on the far side. If you take an overarching view of the battlefield, Corsairs have come back, raining in shots from afar, which is quite nice. We have some Noblar Trappers who can return to the battle, and that is about it. It is kind of what you see is what you get. And unfortunately for Kislev, Warbear Riders starting to get dismembered one by one here. Nasty curse going down on them as well. It's going to seal that, unfortunately. Light War Slaves doing some decent kiting. We do have 7 Warbear Riders still left over here. The Kislev General's doing fine, as is the Frost Maiden. The Lullaby is going to be healing up these troops, including the Warbear Riders, which is pretty crucial. Heal up the Warbears and keep them in the action because they are grinding down this Ogre build. Very close game so far, and those Cossars having endured so much punishment early on. They're doing so much work with their bows now, really raining down the shots of terror into the Iron Guts and other units. And we have more Winged Lancers coming back. The Noblars will break in the end game. You don't have to worry about them too much. And I think Kislev can certainly do this. It is a very poised game, kind of on the knife's edge right now. You need to take these Light War Sleds and push the Ogre Pistols in combat and run them off, as you can't really afford to have them shooting. And the General of Kislev just going ham here with his Warbear Riders, who have been so impressive all day long. Not the hugest amount of kills. We're up against Ogres, so you don't expect it unless you're dealing Noblars. And look how ferocious they are. Oh, it's beautiful. It's so... Imagine the power you must feel riding a Warbear into action. The Frostmaid's taking quite a lot of damage. She's going to fall back here. She's a decent duelist here. Light War Swords, I love to see them jump at the Ogre Pistols. It looks like we are going to see Warbear Eyes do that regardless. Corsairs moving up. Winged Lancers as well into the action. More Winged Lancers finishing off Noblars, though, will they? Because Noblars triple gold chevron ain't nothing to mess with, much like the Wu-Tang clan. And the Winged Lancers going to get a nice rear charge into Iron Guts, but Iron Guts at full health aren't going to care too much. And you can see they do charge in. It's like hitting a big fat wall of meat. It's just a slab of steak, and yeah, your horses aren't going to like that too much, kind of getting dismembered and slaughtered there. In the main fight, though, Kislev's starting to come through pretty tough, going for that assassination on the enemy general, which is pretty key. Now, we do have some support from the Man-Eaters. We have Cossars moving in. They are not Cossar Spears, though, unfortunately. The Spears, of course, will be much more useful here. And it looks like, oh, we're going to get this spell before the Slaughtermaster breaks. Death Frost goes down. We are. The curse comes down. That could be huge. Now, the Slaughtermaster has been fended off. With the curse going down, though, the Warbears will get slaughtered by the Man-Eaters. Light War Sleds should be enough to finish off this Ogre Pistols with the Warbear Riders swooping in there. What a game. This is insanely close. We've got Pistols who might be able to return kind of drips and drabs of both forces. Cossars attempting to finish off some Ogre Bulls who did break from the battlefield. And it seems like the Slaughtermaster has indeed a bit in the bullet. And with Constantine still on the battlefield, this is looking really scary now for the Ogres. We still have Man-Eaters in the middle, though. Pistols getting forced off. Light War Sleds are still active. The Frostmen of Ice as well bounds gloriously on her Warbear into the Noblars. Doing some awesome work there with the Light War Sled as well. There are some rather scary Iron Guts afoot, though, and they're kind of the backbone for this build. If they can focus down these Warbears while they still have a lot of troops left on the battlefield and kill them, there's a good chance Iron Guts could carry in the latter stages of the battle. And it looks like the Warbears are actually going to be going down here. The units starting to waver and break. They do get a hill, though. Lovely timed play there by Calibrimbo in up the lads, and it looks like our Light War Sleds are on the approach once more. Ogre Bulls return to the fight. A lone Man-Eater Ogre Pistol. I don't know where his buddy is. Apparently he does actually have another unit somewhere. I have no idea where his friend's gone. Maybe he just counts a 2 because he's so strong. We have some Man-Eaters coming back as well. Noblars are on the wings. They're getting run down rather effectively, though, by Calibrimbo's Winged Lancer play. And in the central fight, Ogres are just biting the bullet. Man-Eaters going down. And this is the key unit, the Iron Guts. They really want to be fighting with friends. And they're kind of getting isolated here. They are still the main punching power of this build. It looks like they have managed to deal with one unit of Warbear Riders, perhaps. Oh no, both Warbears are still here. And it looks like Imlossus kicks in. Holy cow. Holy cow. That was a game. Whew. That was a game and a half. Jesus. That was awesome stuff. Kislev have bullets. Kislev have both bow and bullet units. They have Streltsy. But unfortunately today, they did not have Streltsy. They had bullets on the back of their Warbear sleds. But apart from that, it was the Corsairs who actually came in clutch. 1.2k gold value and 434 on the second unit. 600 value, 500 value, and 700 on the Winged Lancers. Good circle charging, though, breaking up the enemy infantry. 860 and 1,000 gold value on the War Sleds, using up the majority of their ammunition, which is pretty crazy because they have some absurd ammunition. 1.4k and 2,000 gold on the Warbear Riders. I tip my duck bill to you, sirs. Lovely play by them. 21 and 84 kills apiece. 1.1k on the Frost Maiden and 1,000 on their Liege Lord. Well played to Calibrimbo. We will be seeing him in the second semi-final. So we have one last quarter-final, I believe. And then we have, Loopy versus the winner of that. And then we'll have these two lads popping in afterwards as well. Master of Beasts did pretty average. 450 value on them, unfortunately. The Ogre Pistols, 1,000 and 1.8k. I love that damage value. We have 380 on the Lead Belch, who got mobbed pretty early on. Man-Eaters got 1.3k value and 1.9 each. Jeez, the Iron Guts actually suffered quite poorly. 700 value on those two bad boys. The Ogre Balls as well, kind of a similar damage stat. 760, 630, that type of range. And the Noblars were born to die, and die they did indeed do. That was really cool. Very well played to both these people. That was probably my favourite game so far. What's up, Blackthorn? How's it going, champ? I hope you're all good in the hood. Glad to have you here, buddy. Where's the Ogre Cav? There was no Ogre Cavalry. They were waiting surrounded. Waiting for the Ogre Cav to return to them. But alas it did not. You thought about the two-handed eaters, but decided to go the Iron Guts. Oh, Sirksburg, is that you? Are you Midnight? Should have saved the man score. Hey, that was a really awesome game. That might be my favorite game so far. Let's see if we can find a lobby. There's one called Duck Stream. I think that's just my one I put up earlier. So we'll just host a battle. And I believe it is J Phoenix versus... Who's she up? It is the Golden Floof. Oh, hell yeah. What a name. Versus Floof. I'm assuming that's after like a golden retriever or something. The Lead Belchers look cool though. Think of 4 Roblox knees. It's such an annoying thing, right? It's like, oh, I've had this operation on my back, and what suffers the most? My knees. It's like so dumb. Alright. This is the last quarterfinal, guys. And then we're on to the semi-finals, which would be the winner of this straight up against Loopy, because Loopy has been waiting the longest out of anyone. And then we'll be moving on to Human Boy versus Mr. Calibrimbo. So let me drop the code for these chads. J. For some reason J doesn't pop up on my Discord when I type their name in. Oh, there you go. J Phoenix. And Golden Floof. So let's change their names quickly as well. Bam, bam, bam. There we go. We'll have the Floof. Or should we change that to the G Floof, of course. The Golden Floof. And we'll do the rather hip thing because I'm terribly dumb and cannot spell Phoenix very well. We're going to go JP for J Phoenix. Very hip. The hip hop artist JP coming into action. Cool, it looks like they are both in the lobby. So it is Kislev versus Ogre Kingdoms once again, actually. Oh no, we've got a... They're like the same builds. I feel like Phoenix's build's very similar. Yeah, full cav build. Oh, this one's Corn of Golden Floof. Okay. Okay, good stuff to see. It'll take 2 seconds while we grab a drink. That was awesome, dude. GG. Yeah, that was cool stuff. That was very awesome indeed. That was an awesome game. It had terrified the Man-Eaters. They did so much work. So much work. Like the faction is good, but the ogres within it are hard to get value. Oh man, there's like, it depends. It really depends on the ogres. Like all their range is so devastating. It can be really painful. Awesome. I'm not working. Ready. Dead ready. Now. What? Bam. No! Let's message him, say, I will rehost lobby. Seems bugged. don't know why that won't start, yeah. So let's see if it works this time. We will be on the map. Kislev, Troll Country. We've got, I mean, it's tradition that we normally start on Troll Country in Warhammer 2, so I feel like it was only right we did that on Warhammer 3 as well. Let's copy the password and then link it to... There we go. There we go. And no worries, Black Fawn, I've just seen your message that you couldn't make it. That was okay. I only tagged you because I was like, oh, I don't want you to miss it if you tried. Oh, Phoenix alt-tabbed. Hey! That's okay. I've made a new lobby anyway. Yeah, if you alt-tab, like, it's 50-50. Honestly, if I've, like, tabbed out maybe 20 times this stream, just to open to Discord, check on people and stuff, and it just doesn't crash for me. But again, I know, like, people have been having all these problems. I feel real bad. Yeah, the pistols are nasty. Ogre pistols, lead belchers. If you can protect them, though, which can be tough because you don't have that many troops as ogres to protect. Like, Noblars will just get run over and die, like, very quickly. And obviously, ogre units are quite expensive, being large and scary as they are. There we go. There we go. We're loading in. We are loading in. GG to both gentlemen. Yeah, they both played really well, Major Moolah, for sure. Iron Guts are always a safe pick. Iron Guts are pretty decent. I like Iron Guts. I mean, you know, if you really want to do like Gorges, Iron Blasters, that kind of stuff's pretty powerful. Like, any mobile artillery tends to be good. Find ogres either lose really badly or win overwhelmingly. I mean, that was a really close game there we just saw. That could have gone either way. It kind of came down to a few key moments. So you never know. You never know. Hey, we've got over like 100 people watching. Whoa, what's up? What's up? What's up? Hope you guys are enjoying the stream so far. If you are, feel free to like and subscribe and all that standard YouTube-y stuff. And yeah, appreciate you guys checking out our first one builder battle royale tournament of Warhammer 3. Pretty damn cool. They need a fat Noblar to protect range units. What they need is piggyback cav, which I am going to like hound and harass the about for when like ogres get a DLC. We need piggyback riders. They're so cool. They're literally Noblars giving piggybacks to other Noblars. It's so good. It's so good. So, we have a pretty scary force here. Let's delve into Golden Floof's army. Golden Floof did have to win a round to get in here, round of 16, I suppose. Unfortunately, because there was only like one people who had to play the extra game. But Golden Floof was victorious up against Dragonborn, and he was victorious with his Khorne forces. We have Chaos Warriors of Khorne Halberds in the front, mixed in with some basic units. Double Chaos Spawn in the middle. We also have some Flesh Hounds. We have dual weapons and more Flesh Hounds in the back. Dual weapons. This is just the epitome of Khorne, right? Just get in there, blood for the blood god, death and destruction. I love the serrated axes. It's so extra, it's so bloody, and it's so Khorne-like. We have some Chaos Furies up in the skies. We have a double cultist coming in, of course, with the summon of the Bloodletters. And we have a Bloodthirster up in the skies, which is pretty cool to see. Often we see Scarbrand, but his little brother needs to get some love too. We've got a little bit of lag here. Hopefully that will start to stabilize as we do go in. We have Burning Rage, Deathbringer, and Bloodthirst. For the forces of J Phoenix, she has brought triple Horse Archers here on the left-hand side. We also have, it looks like Winged Lancers and the Griffin Legion. Oh, hell yeah! I rarely ever get to see the Griffin Legion, and they look so badass. So, the more elite unit for Kislev coming in. In the far side, we do have double Polar Bear Riders. We once again have a Frost Maiden of Ice and Constantine once more. And it looks like she only has the Heart of Winter, though, on her. Which is still a really powerful spell, nonetheless. But not going to get much value against ogres and so on. More Griffin Legion waiting in the wings and Winged Lance as they pour forth. And it looks like we're going to get a bit of recreation from Stormrunner's full cav Khorne build coming this time with Kislev. Going to see some chitin early on with the horse archers, which of course going to do great damage up against halberds as well as the spawn of corn. There's lots of good targets for them to really sink their arrows into, and they can kind of just float around and buy time and try to use up their ammunition where possible. They've got to be careful though. We have Chaos Furies and we have a flying Bloodthirster, so they can certainly trap and ensnare the skirmish cavalry if it's not too careful. It looks like Kislev's going to be rotating up and around. We do get a pretty aggressive charge coming by the winged lancers, I believe, as the Warriors of Khorne do get aggressive, trying to shunt and push away as much as possible the skirmish cavalry. It looks like the winged lancers are going to try and take advantage of that and push in against the enemy who are currently retreating, shields held in the wrong direction. And apologies about the lag, guys. The first little bit of lag we've really had on stream, but it seems to be stabilizing a little bit there, which is good to see. A Noblar only DLC? Oh, I'm down. I'm so down for a Noblar only DLC. I don't think there's any Noblar Legendary Lords, though, in lore. I'll have to... I'm sure there's one somewhere. I don't think there was one on tabletop. Horse Archers going to continue to poke in, just focusing down the halberds as well as the spawn units. It's a little bit of infantry, though, that they're going to have to grind through once they do get to it, because they've got okay ammunition, but it's nothing too crazy. You can see they've already used about a third of their ammo already, and damage value-wise, they've got about 500 value, so, you know, nothing too scary just yet. Wing Lancers and Griffin Legion going to be floating in, looking to jump upon the mighty Chaos Warriors, who are facing the wrong way at the moment. With Halberd nearby support, as well as a Bloodthirster, looks like the Wing Lancers realised, you know what, we're actually going to get the hell out of there and not really engage with the enemy too much. Furies quite happily flying up in the skies for now, not getting involved in any of the action as the Horse Archers continue to pepper and poke and just kind of kite as much as physically possible to get that value for Kislev. What's up, Storm? Welcome, welcome. Hi, glad to have another stream. Yeah. It's been good fun, man. I'm probably going to be streaming, I think today's Monday? Yeah, today's Monday. My god, my brain. Today's Monday, so we'll have another stream later this week. Probably Thursday, and maybe a Twitch stream Wednesday, I think, plan. Maybe a Twitch stream tomorrow as well, but it'll be a smaller one. So, oh, pardon me. Not too much going on at the moment. There's lots of lag, unfortunately, which is really annoying. We've had Jay Phoenix on the channel before, and I don't think we've ever had too much lag problems with her. So it might just be their connection together against each other. We do not know, but the Horse Archers continue to pour shots in, just aiming at the spawn where possible, and just poking them down slowly. Any idea when the other factions will drop? No idea. No idea. Hopefully soon, man. Like, I know it's not going to be crazy soon because they need to store out the big, like, map. I'd honestly be keen, even if they can't get the map done, just add all the factions to multiplayer or something. Because, you know, obviously at the moment, with so few factions and them not having the most filled rosters at the moment, which is understandable. Like, it's not a knock on it. Like, they don't have any DLCs yet. By the end of Warhammer 2, every faction was so huge and had so many units, apart from one or two, like Norska, where there was so much more variety. Whereas at the moment, of course, you're a little bit more limited in what you can do. Horse Archers just going to continue to shoot and pull back where possible. I think Floof's doing fine, though. He's not taking that much damage. It's under 1,000 damage and about half ammunition used up so far from the Horse Archers of Jay Phoenix. And the Winged Lancers done a little bit of cycle charging, but nothing too crazy. If they cycle charge into the Halberds, I think the Halberds will be fine. Now, it's going to be a very frustrating game for Floof. It always is when you come against this type of build. But there's not too much you can do about it. Unfortunately, the Spawner have decided to rampage here. And it looks like Floof's decided to go with his men. He's going to be pushing forward and trying to fight alongside the Spawn rather than letting them push ahead and get jumped by absolutely everything. We do have some Hearts of Winter, so if the cavalry does jump in onto the infantry and the halberds all bunch up on one unit, that's going to be playing into Jay Phoenix's hands here. And yeah, the Horse Archer is going to continue to basically just run away as Griffin Legion do move forwards. Phoenix needs to be careful though and continue to attack. The Horse Archers must be shooting, otherwise I know there's no chat for me to talk into. But yeah, going to make sure you are constantly attacking and so forth. And honestly, this is why the tournaments domination is sometimes a bit more interesting in the early stages of the game, because obviously at the moment we're kind of just vibing and got to let these guys use up their ammunition, which is the smart thing to do from Kislev, of course. There's no point bomb rushing into Floof's army. Khorne are down to just below half HP at the moment, 1.2k gold value for Kislev. The Fury's going to continue to hound and harass the Horse Archers. Does look like the Exiled Bloodthirster landed. Needs to be careful though, doesn't want to overextend. Warbears could whip around, and there isn't that much support for this Bloodthirster right here. But it has driven off the Horse Archers once more and pushed them away from the fight. Bloodthirster is going to fly up into the skies, and the horse archers will now simply turn around and start shooting once more. If one unit dies of the spawn of Khorne, it isn't the end of the world. Now, of course, Floof is miles behind damage value-wise, gold value-wise at the moment, but you just got to wait out the enemy ammunition. Any more lag issues with 3? I've not had that many issues with lag on like ladder and stuff. I've had a few in land battles. The thing is, they don't have like dedicated servers, so it's just the two people's internets trying to connect, and even if they both got good internet, sometimes it doesn't like it. And that's why we have so much more lag in Warhammer games than like other online multiplayer games. But I know dedicated servers are like very expensive. So it'd be cool though. It'd be cool because it would solve so many like lag problems and stuff. Bloodthirster's going to crash down, and it looks like the horse archers aren't going to enjoy that too much, as they are going to get slammed a little bit here. A load of arrows do get unleashed. We see like he gets really angry, and the Furies also bomb rush in, so a little bit of a slip up there coming in by Phoenix, but it could be a bit of a trap right now if you get the Winged Lancers charging in and dishing out the pain. And yeah, it's a start to get that gold damage value back from Khorne. It's still going to take quite some time though, and the horse archers just going to use up all the ammo. At this point, if I'm Khorne, I just like push some warriors at them. I mean, you've got to play the patient game, I suppose, but you know, I just send one unit forward, let it absorb the damage, and kind of run away. And the horse archers currently aren't firing, so I will have to message Phoenix in Discord in a second. You must always be attacking. Oh yeah, 2v2s and 3v3s. It's just like you're trying to connect with so many people, so it's I don't think at least that Crave Assembly have any like servers where people connect. Quack quack, what's up, Logic? I hope it's going good, man. We had some really epic battles so far, some fast and furious ones. This one has been a little bit slow. Do we have any more Nurgle videos coming out? Yes, we do. We have a Nurgle video coming today, which should be quite good. But yeah, at the moment, it's got a horse archers basically just kiting at the moment up against Khorne, and constantly rampaging the spawn of Khorne. Looks like they managed to rampage the second unit here. And Khorne probably just want to go with this unit, honestly. Just keep pushing forward, keep your halberds safe. Fury's getting nice and aggressive. Winged Lancers are actually going to countercharge this, which is the right thing to do. And there's been a few opportunities, I think, to do this. Like, just run down on top of the Furies. It is going to allow have the Bloodthirster countercharge. But now we have the Warbears coming in, and the infantry's a little bit far away from Khorne. So that was definitely a good trade so far from Kislev. The ammunition is starting to dwindle and run quite low, though. So they are going to be forced into the action relatively soon. Sounds good. I'm always happy to find someone new to practice with. Like worse in Warhammer 3 than 2. I've had about similar luck, but again, I haven't done that much like custom lobbies and stuff. It may also be the fact we got a lot of new people, you know, joining the scene, so you got a lot of different people connecting who maybe don't have the most stalwart and greatest of PCs. You never know. Likes for the light god, quacks for the quack throne. Indeed, indeed. So Kislev going to continue to shoot and scoop. It looks like the spawn of Khorne are going to be falling back. We've got flesh hounds as well who can push forward and get a little bit aggressive. But again, I was saving for the main fight. I actually think Gold Floof's doing fine. Just waste this ammunition. There's not much left. It's going to force Phoenix to attack. And what you want to do is countercharge their cavalry. When their cav hits your infantry, you then countercharge it with the flesh hounds and try and pin it in place. Looks like the Warbears are considering a bit of a charge in, baiting out the summon though. Now we'll be falling back quite a bit here, as we have just the horse archers poking away in the rear. Bloodlayers do move forwards as well, looking to engage with the enemy, and it looks like Kislev are going into a full tactical retreat here. Horse archers are going to be moving back and then scooting forwards once again. They're going to poke down and get a little bit of shooting in there. So just doing a little bit of poke. We're actually just full retreating right now. And it looks like the horse archers are now moving forward to say hello to the summoned units. Get some arrows drawn and fling them towards it seems like the spawn, which is probably the best target at the moment. Fleshhounds salivating. They've been waiting a good 7 minutes now for like any action to happen, and I'm sure they're just as eager as you guys for the battle to actually get fully underway. Bloodlayer Summon's obviously going to be going down. Furies need to be careful. It looks like there's going to be a big jump here from the Winged Lancers and the Griffin Legion, but the Furies are going to fall back. Well timed there by both players, just helping protect their own troops. And also, you know, getting up into the skies once more. Horse archers going to continue to move forward. They are firing it in. The horse archers aren't doing anything too crazy at the moment. Looks like one last volley in to the spawn. They do manage to skewer one of the fell beasts there, down to 600 damage value on that unit. The others have some ammo left, but we're getting there, boys. We're getting closely there. 600 gold value, and the other one is on 600. So they've done okay, but they've not honestly done that insane or anything. Yeah, I'm waiting for this ammo. I'm just waiting, guys. I'm like, all right, when's this ammo gonna die? The spawn of Khorne have taken quite a beating so far. Good diligent play though by Floof. He's not overextended at any point too much. Like, he's taken damage, of course. Looks like he's just sacrificing this unit spawn. Like, hey, it's nearly dead anyway, and it's unbreakable, so just do your worst. And fill me with arrows as much as possible. And the horse archers are going to be poking in still. 2 ammo left on this unit. 0 ammo, thank God, on that unit of horse archers. And the other one is 0, so 2 shots left is all we have to endure. And then the combat blood frenzy shall kind of commence. Volley still aiming at the spawn, not a bad idea. And it looks like the horse archers only have the 1 ammo left. And they need to unleash it pretty damn quickly. Try to get that value where possible. And then engage in the main fight. Looks like we still have the 1 ammo left. All the cavalry is going to be maneuvering around and looking to charge into the enemy. Wing Lancers, maybe now is the hour. This unit of Chaos Warriors is kind of separated away from the Halberds. They do have the double Cultists though. We've only seen 1 summon of Cultists. And the Wing Lancers, once again, just kind of fall back, trying to bait out charges and so forth while they reposition their cavalry on the flanks. So, Constantine, perhaps considering leading a charge in by the Winged Lancers now as he moves in to engage with the enemy infantry. No, looks like he's just about going to go solo into the enemy, and then he does bait out and fall back once more. We still have some horse archers firing. 1 ammo left. It looks like they unleashed half a volley there into the enemy rather than a full volley, and hopefully the spawn of Khorne will be able to absorb that rather comfortably. Got the cavalry on the far side moving forward across the lovely lake there and trees, or not trees, just trees are over here, across the grassy slopes as the Griffin Legion and Wing Lancers do start to move in. At this point, if I'm Khorne, I'm just bunching into a blob and just waiting. They could have given Horse Archers an actual name. They finally added, this is the longest game I've cast so far, I think, in a Warhammer 3 game for sure. Chaos Warriors are now engaging with the Horse Archers who have committed to the main fight. They're going to get jumped here by the Furies, which is nice play by the Khorne player. Flesh Hounds can be moving back, and it looks like the Halberds as well can push forward a little bit. 2 weapons can be moving in. Yeah, just form a big blob if you're Khorne at the moment. I mean, you've got to be a little bit careful from the Heart of Winter. The Wing Lancers are falling back here on the edge. You've got to be careful of the Heart of Winter, but apart from that, like, Halberds are going to destroy everything else relatively effectively. Is that a summon I hear as well? No, it doesn't look like it just yet. Bloodthirst is going to come in. Yeah, snipe the mage. Get rid of that mage as quickly as possible. Oh my god! Oh my god! Look at that, down to half HP in like 1 slap. In 1 slap. Yeah, trying to get her off the field as quickly as possible before Hearts of Winter can come down. We're probably going to get some spawned in. Flesh Hounds are trying their best. Halberds and dual weapons, yeah, just can't charge the Wing Lancers, force them off. And we do get the Heart of Winter coming down. It's not the nastiest one though. It's not placed on any of the Halberds unit. It's going to kill some Furies and so forth. And maybe do some decent damage and slow down the Bloodthirster, who might struggle to escape here because we do have War Bears nearby. But elsewhere, Khorne Force is doing good. And you can see they're starting to close the distance a little bit on damage value. They are still behind, however. These Halberds have to get into action. Every man in the blob fight and the Clustercluck. Nothing going around on the entirety of the battlefield. It is one big juicy blob fight now. The Spawn and the Flesh Hounds attempting to drag down the Wing Lancers as much as possible. Horse Archers, of course, will be going down pretty quickly. And yeah, there's a lot of Halberds in here. Bloodthirst is going to retreat back, which I approve of. It seems like the Frostmaiden did survive, so definitely like to see a snipe on her. Constantine is also getting a danger low as the entire Kislev force decides to run away and disengage once more, kind of fleeing for their lives and trying to retreat away from Khorne. Wing Lancers and the Griffin Legion look pretty bloodied and beaten right now. Still a lead, though, just under 1,000 gold from J Phoenix, not by too much now. And the Cults of Khorne are going to continue to push where possible. Constantine is with the War Bears, of course, looking to heal them up, no doubt, and probably heal up the Frostmaiden. And just buy time, just probably going to be cycle charging with the cavalry, I would assume, to attempt to buy time for Winds of Magic for more big hearts to come down, because the enemy infantry, these Halberds, as well as dual weapons, are pretty damn strong indeed. Now, the Flesh Hounds are supporting the middle fight. The Griffin Legion are wavering a little bit here. And it seems like, yeah, just trying to jump down and chase away, like this one unit which is kind of broken on the edge of the battlefield. Bloodthirst is going to jump in there and deal with the Horse Archers and kind of fend them off a little bit. And we have Flesh Hounds as well, who can quite comfortably feast on their souls. So it does seem like this unit of Flesh Hounds, though, has moved away from the blob. That is going to allow the Wing Lancers to come in here and try to skewer the beasties. But we have a Spawn pushing them wide, as well as the Exalted Bloodthirster looking to bring the enemy into action. First time watching, good play-by-play. Thank you, Vincent. Hope you're enjoying, man. We do, battlecasts basically every day and live streams once or twice a week as well. So the Flesh Hounds can be trying their best, and alongside the Halberds to protect Wing Lancers are just kind of floating around a little bit, not honestly doing that much. And I am going to message Phoenix in a second because she's definitely broken attacking rules a couple of times here. I don't really buy into too much of the I'm repositioning my army tactics. So obviously it's to save up for heals as well as the Heart of Winter. So I will quickly drop them a warning on Discord. Make sure to be always attack. Go. And I'll pop back into chat for you guys. It is a friendly tournament, so it's less of an issue, but still, if this was like a competitive game, I would have called the game by now in Khorne's favour. There's been quite a few times where Kislev just have not engaged at all. Horse Archer's army charging in now. Halberds moving in to help protect the Exiled Bloodthirster. And I love this play. Like, they come after your Bloodthirster, just drag them into the Halberds, and you can land your Lords now, which gives such good tactical diversity. Land them amongst Halberds and just fight amongst your Halberded troops there. Fleshhounds and Spawn are doing a pretty decent job. In comes the Bloodthirster once again. Definitely wants to snipe that enemy caster if we can. Where is the caster? Are they hiding anywhere? Or perhaps they did indeed get killed here, which would be really good news for Khorne because they're one of the only things which can deal with this mass amount of infantry. But the Halberds are starting to get quite knackered now. Likewise is the enemy cavalry, and the Bloodthirster is very healthy. So are the double Warbears though. And double Warbears, they will easily chew through a Bloodthirster like it's nothing. However, there's some really tanky Halberds here. Plus, we have the Horn of Khorne going down, increasing their melee attack by 24. They will rip and tear into that Powerbow Cav super effectively there. And it looks like Kislev is once again going to be falling back and running away to try to save their own skins. Oh, you're looking at updating your PC? Yeah, the whole winter. I mean, I guess it was probably trying to slow down the Exiled Bloodthirster for a bit of a assassination attempt, as well as an enemy damage to the enemy infantry. Halberds continue to hold strong though, and if I'm Khorne at this point, if the I see the Ice Mage gone, I'm finding a blob. I don't care. I'm going in like a disgusting, just manky little blob of Halberds and death. I'm sitting my Bloodthirsters in the middle of it, and I'm just grinding through the enemy cavalry. So it looks like the Wing Lancers are starting to waver. Horse Archers are broken as well. Warbears are attempting to cycle charge the best possible way they can. And it looks like the Khorne forces quite comfortably able to drive away the Warbear Riders and a decent amount of the Cav as well. And I don't see the Frostmaiden, so I probably missed it being sniped. I was sending a message and so on, so I wasn't able to do quite a good play-by-play there. Yeah, there's so much lag here. Stone got gaffed by the Thirster, yeah. I think Khorne has this, unless they throw away their Lord like this. What is this Lord doing going for the Leroy Jenkins approach? Dives amongst the enemy, including the Polar Bear Cav. This could be the throw of the century because this is a dominant victory for Khorne, I think. Oh, okay, managed to pull back just about in time. Luckily, terrifying away some of the Griffin Legion. And yeah, just land and sit on top of your Halberds. Just land and sit on top of your Halberds. There is no need to fight, like, alone, basically. Doing some big cycle charging, though. He's a much bigger Chad than I am, going after Constantine. I'd just do the kind of really, I'm just going to hide play. But trying to get on Constantine there and do some decent damage. Warbears are starting to waver. They are getting a lullaby popped on them. Halberds are starting to get pretty thin on numbers. Not crazy, but if they lose their Lord, leadership could come into question. And the Warbears are certainly capable still of ripping into the Bloodthirster and doing some decent damage. There is no need for him to fight. I guess he's trying to prove himself here to the Blood God. We do have some cavalry returning. Griffin Legion, as well as Horse Archers, can come back into the main fray in the distance. We have one unit of Griffin Legion, but they won't make it back before they break. Only 6 models on them. Bloodthirster is wheeling about to hide once again amongst all the Halberds, and it seems like the Polar Bear Cav there's just too much enemy infantry to drag down here. Not like this exactly. He walks forward, kills Ice Witch, walks away, refuses to elaborate. Yeah, it's like, I'm here to kill your witch, and then just walks away and struts off the battlefield. The Phoenixes, as well as the Cult of Khorne, Horn of Khorne going down, that'll ask me so much damage value. And yeah, the cavalry, once again, going to attempt to jump the Exiled Bloodthirster. Deathbringer goes down. He gives no damns. He shall fight his way, and his way is the suicidal death charge of a Slayer. Doing some pretty decent damage, but the infantry needs to catch up. The Lord is starting to look pretty beat up now. If he gets out of here, probably best to stay up in the skies, away from the enemy bears who can rip asunder. But even if the Bloodthirster goes down here, it seems like it's a pretty solid victory for Khorne. They're ahead considerably gold damage value-wise, and it looks like that is army losses kicking in. GG, well played. Now, even when army losses kick in, Kislev continue to fight for a while. If anyone has any replays of army losses kicking in, Kislev just getting their unbreakable trait and winning off that, let me know. Like, send me that replay. That would be amazing stuff. But there's no way they can kill us infantry in time, unfortunately. Warbears, it is only a matter of time before they do indeed get forced off the battlefield. And Constantine as well does look like he may be done. The GG's well played. Oh yeah, don't worry. If I always let the games play through, and if I think someone's broken the rules, I just send it off to the referee and we get it sorted, and that would have been sent off there. But it was still a fun game nonetheless. Although, yeah, Kislev not attacking at all times, unfortunately, so Khorne would have gone through anyway, but it does not matter because they were victorious. And well played on Floof. 3.6k gold value from the Exile Bloodthirster is very tasty stuff indeed. 800 gold value on the spawn and 400. Not terrible when you consider that they basically got sniped in the early stages from the cavalry of Kislev there. 960 gold value on the Chaos Warriors of Khorne dual weapons. 2.4k on the other halberds. My god, and 840. Cultists did decent job. Summons weren't used super well. They were kind of baited out really effectively by J Phoenix. And she managed to escape without taking too much damage from them. Fleshhounds, 950 and 1,000 gold value. Really good, just kind of calm play in the end by Golden Floof, right? It is very frustrating trying to face, you know, basically wood elves and, like, deal with the enemy damage. But if you can mitigate your losses and they don't get the best value from it, you can then grind them out in the mid-game. And 1.2 on Constantine is pretty decent. 530, yeah, good snipe on the Frost Maiden. That was crucial, because if J Phoenix had kept her Frost Maiden alive, the Hearts of Winter would have been pretty scary. 1k value and 1.1k on the Warbears. And yeah, Griffin Legion and the Wing Lancers just didn't stand a chance, unfortunately. 830, 820, and 900 gold value on the Horse Archers. Isn't, you know, terrible, isn't amazing either. Well played to these two. It is Golden Floof now up against Loopy in the first semi-final. We then will, I believe, have Human Boy taken on... Let me check. We will have Human Boy versus Calibrimbo after this. So yeah, it is Golden Floof versus Loopy, then Human Boy versus Calibrimbo. Hope you guys are ready for awesome semi-final actions. Let's keep Floof there. Change this name to Loopy. Well played, Phoenix, though. She did pretty damn good with her Kislev forces. But yeah, going very cavalry-themed, of course, means they are going to struggle up against... struggle quite hard against that many halberds and so on. Let's just... Oh, Loopy's already here. And the map is going to be Old Hunt Rises. I haven't actually seen half these maps. I've just been using the ones people told me are competitive. And it is Norscan Mountains, and that is the reason I've decided to use it, is because there's a Norska in the title. Should be good fun. Should be good fun. I figured I could not kill the halberds. Yeah, the halberds were tough. I think, like... maybe shooting the halberds would have been better than shooting the spawn, honestly. Wow, that was a tough game, but the one Floof. Floof, you did great, man. Yeah, everyone keeps telling me Cav is bugged, and I still keep winning games with Cav. But, like, yeah, I think Cav's, like, not as good as it's meant to be. But honestly, I feel like if it gets, like, super buffed or something, then that's going to be, like, make me vomit. But yeah, I think cavalry and some of the chariot. The chariots, the problem with them is they do their job too well, but they got too good at flinging people over that they do no damage, basically. Don't do damage to units on the floor and so on. Needed a chariot too to make it more viable. Yeah, I guess a couple of war sleds to help kill the infantry would have been nice, but still I think Phoenix did a good job despite that. Oh, that's a big fat stretch to delve into this one, man. My knees are like, they feel like they're dislocated. Oh, this looks like a cool map. I must admit, I'm a big fan of a lot of the map design, particularly in the domination ones. Those are the ones I've seen the most of. And obviously there's a lot you have to do with like the free objectives and stuff, but the maps in general and the artwork of this game are pretty freaking insane. Pretty freaking awesome. Holy crap. This is in Norska. Let's go on vacation to Norska, boys. So we have just seen Golden Floof's army, but I'll do a quick reminder of it in a second. Let's get into position. What do you never see in the competitive scene, Doorknob? Sorry? That you never see it in the competitive... Oh, it's about, like, non-skirmish gav. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Like, at the moment, like, infantry is actually quite popular in a lot of games as well. So for Floof, it is the same build. We have the double flesh hounds. We have Chaos Warriors of Khorne in the middle, supported by the halberds on the flanks. Double Cultists of Khorne in the middle. 2 Spawn of Khorne. Double Chaos Furies, and a rather angry Exile Bloodthirster, which he microed really freaking well last game. So he's gonna have to do it again, though. Loopy is like a god of micro. And a very scary player. Used to, though, using fast-moving factions. We've got some quite slow ones here. So we have Chaos Furies up in the skies. A load of Nurglings down low. So 3 Furies, and I believe he has Plague Drones. Oh, they can kill the enemy Furies, but that Exiled Bloodthirster will take a long time to kill them, so at least he can bog them down, hopefully win the infantry fight. We have a load of Nurglings, backed up by a load of Forsaken, with a single Soul Grinder, which is definitely going to have to do some damage to those halberds in the early stages. And then we have the Exotic Grey and Clean one, and don't get it like mistaken, the Grey and Clean one can kill an absurd amount of infantry. Hello, little Nurgling! He's having a whale of a time going on his roller coaster there. Because of that Mortis effect, he will do fine up against a lot of units. Hello! Little wave. High five. Ka-cha! And I'm excited to see this in action. Excited to see how it goes. Who knows? Who knows? What's this? You're not interested in... Hello, I'm a new player. Would love to play a game later if possible. Yeah, man. Join my Discord. There's a link in the description. And there's we've got like 900 people in there, so just ask around. I'm sure we'll be able to get some games. I probably won't be playing any after this. I think I'll be resting and just grabbing a bite to eat and stuff. We still have 3 games left to go yet, guys. Don't worry. It's still like an hour or so of content. But I'll probably do like a stream later in the week. Maybe a Come At Me Bro, where I'll just host a lobby and we can do like a load of stuff. So, load of shots coming down from the glorious Soul Grinder of Nurgle into the enemy infantry. It is going to completely miss all his shots there, which I love to see. Furies up in the skies, trying to just bait each other into fights. Now, Khorne does have pretty good Furies down. Like, all the Furies are slightly different. But, I don't know. Nurgle look to be using 2 of their Furies to bog down the Bloodthirster, and then using the Plague Drones and 1 unit of their Furies to kill 2 of the enemies is quite a smart play. It does look like the Bloodthirster's going to land, and that's going to allow Nurgle to take dominance of the air game in the early stages. They are landing all their troops now, and that's certainly something you can do, which we never got to see before. And it's one of my favourite implementations into Warhammer 3 compared to Warhammer 2, is the fact you can land air units now. It's so goddamn useful. So the longer the opening starts to kind of pan out in, the longer it takes Khorne to get to the front line, the better for the Soul Grinder, of course. Only up to 7 kills so far. It is allegedly firing. There we go. Pop, pop, pop. And it's just going to be blazing shots into the enemy infantry, mainly focusing down halberds, it would seem, which is definitely going to be a good target. And a lot of the ground forces, once again, or the air forces of Khorne, are going to ground themselves and wait for the big grindy fight for sure. Not really sure how Khorne's going to kill the Mortis. Yeah, that's going to be the big problem here, is killing the big Chungus, the Exiled Grey and Clean one. Of course, they have a Bloodthirster, which will do it, but it will take them time. We saw an Exalted Keeper of Secrets taking an age. We do have a load of halberds, though, and though they will take damage from it, they'll be able to give out the damage quite a lot as well. Plus, we have Cultists of Khorne who can do decent damage in combat, and sound some Bloodletters who will rip and tear into any target, which, you know, they do get their blades seeping into. We have a Spawn of Khorne moving up on the right-hand side, as well as the Halberd, so it's going to be a big blob fight, which is basically how every single game of Nurgle pans out, apart from the game of Nurgle I'm going to be putting up after this video, the replay, as I try Nurgle Kite game, which is an interesting prospect. Trying to kite with Nurgle is pretty good fun, I must admit. Big shots come in on the halberds from the deadly beast itself. Once again, Nurgle just dominating the skies. You stay down there where you belong on the ground, although it looks like the Fury is constantly jumping up and down, trying to bait in the Nurgle forces. Loopy, though, has got some pretty scary micromanagement, so I don't think he's going to fall for that one anytime soon. Maybe now the battle's underway, might be a bit harder for him. Now, Forsaken on top of Nurgle should do okay against Chaos Warriors, honestly. Chaos Warriors of Khorne, the dual weapons are good against basically everything in the Nurgle roster. The Exotic Grand Clean one's going to waddle forwards, waving his bell around. He is up to no good and about to start some trouble in the Khornite neighborhood. Big boom coming down, splattering Khorne Warriors left, right, and center with halberds moving in. But again, remember, we have the Mortis engine, which can heal. Lovely attempted snipe comes in from the Bloodthirster onto the Soul Grinder, and he just gets swarmed by Furies, as well as the Plague Drones. This is a lovely counterpunch, though. Okay, you're going to surround my Lord. I'm going to summon some Bloodletters in and carve my way through your Furies. You're not now going to be able to use them in the latter stages of the battle, or you have to fall back and allow me to snipe the Soul Grinder. Lovely play coming in there by Golden Floof, making his debut on the channel here. Flesh Hounds do dive down onto the Forsaken, and it looks like all round Khorne having a fantastic day so far in the main fight. Damage value is higher though for Loopy and his forces of Nurgle, though his front line is starting to buckle quite badly here. And in the back, it looks like the greater demons are going to be dueling it out against each other with the Soul Grinder support, plus all the Furies. It looks like the Furies took considerable damage, and the Plague Drones as well are looking a lot healthier than the other Airkin there, as the Chaos Furies do start to go down. Bloodthirster knows his place. You'd think, hey, I'm a big angry Bloodthirster. I should be fighting this nasty demon Nurgle, shouldn't I? No, you should not, unless you are supported. Shimmer Corruption goes down on Chaos Warrior Halberds, and some nice damage in the distance, though Nurglings do get surrounded, and Golden Floof does indeed just about take the lead there in damage value for the first time in the battle. We are about to get a big fat heal go down on the Soul Grinder. Fleshy Abundance going down, trying to keep it active and healthy. It has been dragged away, though, from the Exalted Great Unclean One, which is very problematic for the force of Loopy and Nurgle. Balance power slightly in favour of Khorne at the moment, as more Halberds do start to move in and swarm. Forsaken attempting to fight upon their Liege Lord. And Plague Drone's doing good work, as we saw in the previous game from Loopy. He does love to cycle those bad boys in and out of combat rather effectively. The Exiled Demon does land, doing some big rear attacks on it to the Soul Grinder, who's not going to be having a good day whatsoever. The Exiled Grand Clean One is pinning a bit of a shift as well, just waving around and, yeah, bending the enemy left, right, and centre. Big stream of corruption constantly going in. The Chungus is on fire at the moment. He's up to 2.4k damage of value, but he is very much surrounded by halberds now. Soul Grinder attempts to come into the support, and this is what Nurgle need to do: bunch everything up and goon the enemy general. If they can goon the enemy general, they can grind the infantry, at least you would hope, but the Khorne force is looking pretty scary here. Forsaken and Loopy will be charging it downhill into the enemy. Halberds do counter-charge them rather effectively, though stopping that rear attack from being too problematic. And it looks like the Plague Drones are now down in the action. Big duel, the brother v brother fight, as these exalted demons go against each other. It does look like the Grand King One is losing, despite the fact he is getting healed up right now. He's going to be grinding on all his infantry, though, remember, as the game does delve on. Forsaken getting healed, trying to drag down Flesh Hounds, and it looks like the Soul Grinder as well. It's so low. The Plague Drones are trying their best to keep this exotic Bloodthirster in one place and away from the Soul Grinder, but it doesn't seem to be working. Likewise, the Great Unclean One for Nurgle is really suffering at the moment, although I say suffering, up to 3.2k gold value, but it's suffering HP-wise, as more Forsaken going to be doing a rear charge into the halberds. Should be enough to overwhelm that unit there and get some of the remaining infantry off the field. Still a unit of 87 halberds is pretty scary stuff here, and it looks like the Plague Drones most likely will be biting the bullet here, unfortunately for them, as well as the Soul Grinder, and that's a lot of punch gone for Nurgle, like a lot of punch. Forsaken continue moving. Damage value is ahead at the moment for the forces of Khorne. Flesh Hounds finish off the Forsaken, and it is the big Chungus against the universe. And I don't think he stands too much chance there. Despite that, he looks rather glorious, but his leadership's starting to break, and it looks like Loopy will be bowing out, and the mighty Golden Floof will be, going into the finals to take on the winner of the next semi-finals, which should be good fun. Like, good to see Khorne in action there, performing really well. Well played to Loopy, bringing a Chad Nurgle build, the only Nurgle player in the tournament today. The hats off to him. Always good to have Loopy on the channel, whether it be a replay or on the live stream. He's been a really good, awesome support and friend of the channel for a long time, and I love his build, but alas, even the mighty Exotic Great and Clean One with its 4,000 gold value is not powerful enough to stop the might of the Golden Floof. 1.3k on the Soul Grinder, 475 on the Plague Drones. Forsaken got butchered where they stood. And a nice play early on with the Furies, just hounding and harassing, but they weren't really there to get that much value. As for Floof's forces, once again, great micro by his Exalted Bloodthirster, 1.9k gold value on him, 1.2 and 1k on the Spawns of Khorne. As for the enemy infantry, 1.5k on the Halberds was the standout there. Nothing else to write home about. Doesn't look like it. Looks like they were eventually just able to grind through the enemy and really drag them down. Well played to Golden Floof. We'll be seeing you in the finals, and once again, well played to Loopy. Let us host the next semi-final, which is going to be held between Human Boy and Midnight Sun. So let's host a lobby for that. Should be Human Boy versus Midnight. Let's get that open. Praise be the Floof. What a name as well. Great game, Loopy, man. Loopy played like a Chad. He played like a Chad, but alas, it was not enough. It was a close game, man. It was a close game. What's up, Ant-Man? How's it going, champ? Quite cool. Hope you're all good. Santa Snots love seeing that as the page loads up. What was that? Oh, lots of snot, like the little snotlings? Man, that was a good game, guys. That was a good game. Well played to both those guys. And let's quickly add a slot open there for midnight. And the map is going to be Old Hunt Rises, which is a pretty cool map. So just search it here. Old Hunt Rises. Awesome. There we go. Let me invite in midnight as well. Midnight Sun. Boop. There is a link. Awesome. Let me update challenge page for them as well. Wait, no, it was Calibrimbo, wasn't it? Oh god, I might be mistaken. Did Calibrimbo go through? It's Calibrimbo. I'm an idiot. It is indeed. Calibrimbo. Let us change the name. I was so confused. I was like, oh, Midnight Sun. I was like, I can't remember the game. I remember how it was. Let's get Cow in here. Password. And in Calibrimbo. So it's Kislev versus Grand Cafe. Without further ado, let's delve into this second semi-final. And the winner of this, of course, will be going through to face the Golden Floof and his Golden Corn Force. Praise be the Floof indeed. Hope you guys are enjoying. Over 130 people watching right now, which is pretty insane. Been a good fun tournament. Looking to do many more in the future. If you are enjoying, please do leave a thumbs up and so on. It really does help out quite considerably. And feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, which I am certainly going to be a big milestone for us. Let's have a little Sid Bodgering. That is the good stuff. So, it is going to be a Grand Cafe of Human Boy, who has a pretty awesome build. Very, like, competitive standard cafe build, I think. I haven't played that much competitive land battles, honestly. I've been having a lot of fun land battles and mainly doing competitive domination games. But from what I've gathered and what people have told me, like, it's just very much, you go super wide. Miao Ying's very powerful as well. She looks so cool, man, honestly. The scaled armor is very cool. So she's got Earthblood and then Tans on the Night. And then what you do is just go really wide of infantry and a bucket ton of range. So we have a load of halberds, Jade Warrior halberds, like mid-tier infantry of basic Jade Warriors. A load of peasant long spearmen. We have one unit of peasant horsemen, and then it should just be a load of archers. Where are they? Oh, here they are. We have a load of peasant archers mixed in with Jade Warrior crossbowmen in a nice defensive situation. And up on the high ground, we have the Crane the Gunners, which look pretty damn awesome. I do love this colour scheme as well that Human Boy's chosen. Big fan. This is the colour scheme I tend to go with as well. And just the emblem and stuff, like the blazing yellow, it just looks really badass. And I love Crane Gunners. And of course, Human Boy, as a mighty Skaven main of the people, he does love his Warplock Giselles. And Crane Gunners are basically the Warplock Giselles of the Cafe universe. Across the battlefield, we do have the mighty forces of Kislev. We saw him just about scrape through against Midnight Sun and his Ogre forces. We have light war sleds on the left-hand side. We have some winged lancers, double Corsairs as well, double Warbears. And in the center, we have a Frost Maiden and Constantine. So once again, Human Boy has to take on a pretty much full cavalry build. He won't get that luxury against Khorne, of course, if he manages to go through here. But his build seems really well designed to kill these kind of full cavalry charges. Loads of halberds, loads of spears, loads of cheap crossbowmen. There's so much to shut down. It's going to be quite tough. But this Kislev build has something the previous Khorne build we saw from Stormrunner doesn't have. And that is light war sleds. Light war sleds will be able to rampage through the back. And there's not basically any mass on this Kislev build, apart from one unit of cav, to stop them from just reaving through the archers. So the light war sled play is going to have to be insanely aggressive from Calibrimbo if he wants to win this today. It is Calibrimbo, yes, yes. My puny duck brain couldn't figure it out. Yeah, like, Cafe is like 20 stack meta, 100%. 100%. Like, it's very reminiscent of like a dwarf like style of play, certain Skaven styles of play, and certain like Empire styles of play. So the Warlord Giselles, or I actually call them that not like tongue-in-cheek there, I just mistook them. The Crane Gunners, there we go, are going to be leaning forwards and unleashing some shots onto the sleds. And this is 100% what Human Boy needs to do. Kill these war sleds, man. Get them off the battlefield because they're going to be your biggest problem. We have a load of light cavalry. The winged lancers going to be moving up and around the flanks, as well on the right-hand side as well. There's a bit of natural terrain here. And the warbears don't really know where to go, and that's going to be quite problematic for them. That's a lot of why he managed to beat the ogre player was those warbears, and they didn't really have too many good situations to fight in today. So we're going to have to see if the rest of the build can stand up and fight. Miao Ying has instantly gone into dragon mode. 100% agree with that decision here. And the cavalry is going to continue to just move up and around the flank where possible as the ground forces do start to arrive. They're only 2 units of Kossars, though, so they're not going to have that big of an impact, you wouldn't have thought. Though I said that last game, and they performed really well. Warbears can be moving up and around still. Likewise are the winged lancers. Going for the trees isn't a bad idea, and just jumping on top of these archers whilst your opponent isn't looking can be pretty nasty. Winged lancers attempt to charge in now. They're going to get pinned in place. I love this from Human Boy. So he pins them in with the peasants, the peasant horseman, and then you move in the peasant long spearmen to counter. Oh no, it looks like he's trying to fend off like a multiple unit. So pin them in place and then use your crossbow bolts to whittle down the enemy. Though the winged lancers are decimating the peasant horseman. The peasant horseman did some damage back, about a third damage there. That's not too shabby. Should be able to force them off though and then drive into the Jade Warrior crossbowmen. Light war sleds have to keep moving. Just get these guys amongst your enemies and running them over as much as possible. On the other flank, winged lancers is going to be moving in. Warbears are vibing at the back at the moment. They are going to have to commit to fights, unfortunately, even if it's in unfavorable engagements, just to keep the enemy army busy. Winged lancers do charge through despite Miao Ying hounding and harass them. And now the light war sleds are going to kill the crane gunners, which is definitely good news for Kislev, as the winged lancers continue to pound and harass the Jade Warrior crossbowmen. The problem, though, for Kislev here is, like, they've done a lot of damage, right? You'd think, like, hey, we're on the back line, we're doing good. There's so many more avenues for, like, escape. Although, this is a big mistake here from Human Boy. No, don't do this! There's, like, crossbowmen and archers there. If the Kislev player Calibrimbo realizes, he can kill 2 units here in one go. He's kind of gone all in on this 1 unit of winged lancers. In the middle pocket of the battlefield, the light war sleds are close to breaking the crane gunners, but they are able to hold. And, oh, nasty. Nasty stuff. We get 2 effect spells come down here. Talons on the Night from the Force of Grand Cathay, but also really nasty Heart of Winter. That's going to be enough to probably kill 2 units of crossbowmen as well as these Jade Warriors. We still have spearmen and halberds nearby, so the warbears definitely need to keep pushing through and ignore the halberds for the late game, where hopefully you can break and snipe them down, because the warbears are going to be needed to take down Miao Ying in the latter stages of the battle. It looks like the Kislev player did push through with the unit of light war sleds, which is good, shutting down the unit of crossbowmen. It's a very hotly contested game so far. Decent amount of halberds left on the battlefield though, and that is huge. They're like the main damage output of this Kislev build. In the center here, we can see Jade Warriors do fall back, and it looks like the bears are going to be feasting on them quite happily. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any cheap units to chase them off, because I'd love to drive them away from the battlefield. Light war sleds going to get a rear attack to help the Kossars break through the front line a little bit quicker into the peasant longsword. I like that play quite a bit from the Kislev player. You need these cheap troops just to flood through onto the enemy and bog down and shut down halberds. Now, Human Boy is doing everything he can to try to counteract this play from Kislev, and I agree with this play. Take Miao Ying, kill those light war sleds, because they're a pain in the butt. They're going to be moving over your troops. They've got such good mass. They're going to drive down and hunt down all your infantry as well, which is not something you want. We're going to get Tans of the Night go down on the winged lancers, which may be enough to save this unit of Jade Warriors. The crossbowmen, we'll have to wait and see, because of course winged lancers will go into unbreakable mode for a while. I'm assuming the Kislev player probably saving up for one more big Heart of Winter. You can only do 1 or 2 of it throughout the course of a battle, unfortunately. Light war sleds should be enough to break off the peasant long spearmen. They can now bounce through to this side. Lots of Cathay units are starting to rally, though, there in the back. Warbears continue to ride dirty. There's 2 units of halberds, though. They have to be killed by the Heart of Winter, otherwise there's no hope for Kislev, I don't think. Crossbowmen have rallied. The mighty Miao Ying does swan through the air like a gigantic evil snake, and is going to float after the light war sleds. They're going to drive them off the bow. Good diligent play there by Human Boy, realizing the threats and ensuring he does kill and assassinate them. Unfortunately for Kislev, though, Calibrimbo has a couple of tricks up his sleeves as well, and that main trick is killing peasants. So he's killing a lot of peasants, and that is going to allow the Kossars to be freed up both units here, and they could actually rain some terror down on the Jade Warriors, kind of flip the matchup on their head, and you bring the ranged pain to drag down the enemy. We've also got some winged lancers moving around the formation to attempt to jump on top of the crossbowmen. I like that idea quite a bit here, and both armies taking a bit of a breather here as they recuperate where possible. Man, this is awesome. Girlfriend was distracting me, so I had to go away. Loopy, gotta get your priorities right, mate. Girlfriends or Total War Warhammer? We all know the answer of what you should be going for there, and it rhymes with Total War Warhammer. So the winged lancers gain a very nice rear attack there onto those pesky archers, and then that's going to mean all the spearmen turn to engage them, and then we get some big fat attacks coming in by the warbears, and some decent magic as well from the Frost Maiden. I'd definitely like to see another big Heart of Winter really being saved up, but all of those units being crumped here by the Kislev forces. Corsairs, yeah, just start raining shots down on the enemy halberds here and try to whittle them down. We do have some range left, but it's like some haggard units of Jade Warriors and Peasant Archers, as Grand Café does realign their ranks. Now, they still have a freaking dragon, which is certainly something very scary. Warbears will rip it to pieces, so we really need to see this dragon used aggressively, but keep it away from the Warbears and try and allow the halberds to fight the Warbears, or land your dragon amongst halberds and like, hey, if you want to come kill me, you want to come through my royal bodyguard. Corsairs going to be lining up, getting ready to unleash some shots into the enemy. Peasant Long Spearmen have been broken and shattered there. Wing Lancers are exhausted, but they are clinging on for dear life. So light war sleds, as well as the Warbears, all getting healed up here. This is a really nice play by Kids. They've just take all that food in and start moving forward with those archers. Well, I'm now going to start unleashing some shots into the enemy. I would honestly ignore the dragon. I would not shoot the dragon. I don't think that's the main problem. I would shoot all of my shots into these Jade Warrior halberds and just try and get them off the field. Even the archers don't have that much punch anymore because they're a little bit beat up here. We do have some light war sleds still left alive. It looks like just the one unit. It has 2 models in. That's what you use to harass the back line. Corsairs to shoot the halberds, and the Warbears for those big flank engagements. Man, this is crazy. This is crazy so far. I don't know who's going to win this. I already did. I still think no balance power is favoring Kislev. There's so many halberds to deal with. It's going to be tough still for the Warbears. It depends on the Winds of Magic, I think, and how much Winds of Magic we have. So both players just poking and stroking, not doing anything too crazy so far. Light War Sleds need to be careful. They're flown up to this side with some Winged Lancers that could bring out the Storm Dragon. But again, you can fall back and just kind of run away then, while you move up with the rest of your forces and the Warbears. But, oh yeah, this is a good play by Human Boy. I like this. Just snipe the Light War Sleds if you can. Struggling a little bit, though, and the Light War Sleds may better scoop their boots away, but they do turn to engage, which is a bit of a mistake. Wing Lancers continue to float around towards the enemy as both players reposition, and in comes the Frost Maiden, charging headlong into the Peasant Long Spearman, alongside her beautiful Constantine as he charges in. The Peasant Long Spearmen continue to push forward. The halberds are taking a bit of pressure now from the Corsairs, but not anything too crazy. Light War Sled, unfortunately, looks like it's going to break here. Just going for a last death charge into the halberds. We do have Wing Lancers into good positions. Kislev definitely wants to bunch up Café, though, and come in for those big Winds of Magic attacks, but it looks like we probably don't have the Winds of Magic for another Heart of Winter. We're just seeing constant Ice Maiden Kisses go down. So, yeah, Heart of Winter is 24 Winds of Magic. It's kind of insane. Very powerful, though. Peasant Archers get jumped by the Warbears, which is good to see. They also see Wing Lancers rear charging into the halberds. Corsairs continue to shoot in to the enemy halberds. You can also see Constantine just taking down a couple of units by himself, where he may actually get a Death Frost going after the enemy, which isn't the most powerful spell in the game, not the best kind of Spirit Leech spell. Though the Dragon's going after the enemy caster, definitely pull the caster out. Keep the Warbears probably fighting at the moment, although there is Peasant Spearman nearby. Frostmaiden is retreating as Warbears wrap up the back line here, feasting on the souls of many players. And the Corsairs continue to attempt to drag down the halberds, but I think the halberds could prove crucial. But the bounce power's quite against them, and their morale could waver and break, of course. We do have the potential for more heals coming in from Constantine and more spells from the Frostmaiden. You see Meowing didn't really take much damage there. I bet she's got some pretty insane magic resistance as well. Yeah, 25%. I don't know. I feel like just getting rid of the infantry is the key here. I wouldn't worry about Meowing too much with this many polar bears in the battlefield. Corsairs continue to line up shots, and they are raining them down. At the moment, on to the enemy archers. Looks like it's going to be enough to break them and force them off the battlefield. And then you just focus down these Jade Warriors from that point onwards, and it's going to force Human Boy to come out of that defensive Café shell, which Café are so, comfortable doing. They want to sit back. They want to kind of hang on in those defensive box builds, but they're getting outshot at the moment by Kislev, which isn't good. And the halberds are currently the focus of this fire, and I think that could prove crucial, keeping these Corsairs alive as long as they have. Warbears once again moving out to the flanks. I like keeping one of your Warbears near the Corsairs in case the Angry Dragon Lady wants to come down and start bringing the pain, which certainly could happen. But the cavalry whipping around the wings where possible as shots continue to pour. It looks like they're actually trading now with the enemy crossbowmen, maybe looking to get off the field. And now the dragon swoops in, so lovely big attack animation. Warbears not coming down quick enough to intercept either. I think this was a threat that was looming, and you need to protect your ranged troops. They're doing wonders right now for Kislev. Now Yang able to escape there without taking too much damage. Warbears and Constantine moving around. Oh, it's the Ice Maiden. Moving around the left-hand side at the moment. A little bit risky. She can be sniped by Miao Ying, but you got the Warbear Rider escort. 12 models. It should be fine, I would think. Corsairs going to continue to shoot in and rain shots down on the enemy. We do have this lone unit of crossbow doing some nice counter shooting. And once again, the dragon's going to land. And Calibrimbo not quite quick enough, unfortunately, with his Warbears. I think he's microing in the back here. You can see he's actually casting spells and so forth. It was a nice spell down the line of the Jade Warrior crossbowmen, but not doing the most amount of damage to them. And it looks like he was able to fend off the dragon, who wants, it's just going to cycle charge here. Just cycle charge in, shoot with the one unit, and the bears, they should be sitting on top of these units of Colossals. There's no need to be this far away from them, really. Like, okay, you might take a little bit of damage from the Jade Warrior Crossbowmen, but yeah, you can't allow the dragon to get free real estate like this and hunt down the Colossals. So in the back, the Warbear Riders do engage. They're not quite able to break off the crossbow, unfortunately, and the halberds do counter-shoot them rather effectively here. And it looks like we're going to continue to see the Colossals shooting in and dragging down at Jade Warrior Crossbowmen where possible. Warbear is going to give up and just charge directly into the front, which Miao Ying probably can't even go back and snipe the Colossals right now. I wouldn't have thought. They baited out of Wrath of the Storm. That's good. Yeah, bait out the Wrath of the Storm and fall back. Oh, I love that play. Well played to Calibrimbo there. Like, oh, you want to use your buffs too? Cool, I'm going to fall back and just continue to shoot you. And once the buffs go off, that's when I'm going to engage. We do get a nasty Death Frost once again, go down onto Miao Ying. She's got probably a decent amount of magic saved up. Maybe I haven't seen a spell in a while, though she did blow quite a lot of her loads early on. The Warbear Riders attempt to sneak in there a little bit. Looks like they are gunning it for the Jade Warriors who do not have halberds. And yeah, going to be a close fight still. It looks like we do not have Wrath of the Storm anymore active. Miao Ying's now getting jumped by double Warbears, and she's taken some massive, massive damage. Does she have the summon spell? What's this? Oh no, she's transforming into a human. Okay, interesting enough. So it looks like she's been attacked there, but Frost Maiden is vibing at the moment. Warbears probably want to fall back out of this fight for now, at least. I like this play by Human Boy as well, because the bonus was large really was starting to add up. Frost Maiden, if you've got any spells, now would be the time. Colossals going to move into hand-to-hand combat. They're running out of ammunition. Warbears are going to fall back out of this one and maybe do a bit of cycling where possible. The halberds being so strong is quite scary. Miao Ying, though, if you can snipe her with the Frost Maiden and console time, the leadership of Cathay may come into question because balance of power is very, very Kislev favored. In fact, we actually have another unit for Kislev in the distance. It is 14 Wing Lancers. I don't think they're going to make it back into the fight without breaking. Frost Maiden jumps into the back here, and we do see, and is this an Earthblood coming down? It is a late-game Earthblood. Very clutch stuff there by Human Boy. I like the fact he saved that in the pocket. And that Constantine is fine Miao Ying, but she's pretty powerful, and there's a load of halberds nearby. Warbears are going to clatter into them, though, attempting to free up their lord. And the Frost Maiden in the back needs to be careful. She doesn't want to be jumped here by Miao Ying at one-on-one fighting. It is a battle of the witches, and, oh no, I feel like Miao Ying being a dragon's kind of cheating, but we do have a polar bear, so hey. Warbear Riders are able to jump once again the halberds, as well as the peasant longspear. And halberds, though, are holding firm for now in the name of the Dragon Empire. And Colossals do seem to be getting dragged down. I feel like Kislev is starting to run out of steam a little bit. Lovely cycle charging all round by them, but more Earthbloods coming in, just keeping those halberds nice and topped up. And I think if we hadn't used those Death Frosts, hadn't used the Ice Maiden Kisses, and just got, even just for one more part of winter, Kislev wins hands down. Hands down, I think they win this. Yes, Miao Ying would be healthy right now, but all this infantry would be dead, and the infantry is the problem. But as it stands, it is a very close game instead. And the Colossals popping in, doing decent damage. Warbears continue to cycle charge, and the heroes of Kislev quite powerful. Bounce power has come more back to the middle now, though. Warbears attempting to surround and isolate this unit of halberds. There's 2 units left alive for them, plus Miao Ying. Warbears are just finishing off a load of crossbowmen at the moment. It could come down to leadership, because look at this. The halberds are starting to wave now. They are immune to psychology, and they're getting Earthblood, and they're getting Wrath of Stormed up. I think Human Boy's had a little bit better late game management so far. He's quite an experienced tournament player and host, and I think Calibrimbo said this is one of his first tournaments who's done outstanding, honestly, so far. Peasant Longspearmen are dead here. Warbears probably just want to keep rear attacking Jade Warriors where possible and just falling back. Console time is going to continue to fight here. Bounce power is now in favour of Grand Cathay, though, for the first time in quite some time. Warbear Riders will be jumping at the Jade Warrior Crossbowmen and finishing them off, which is good to see. Good diligent play there by the Kislev player, and it was a good scrap. It was a good scrap, but what can men do against such reckless halberds? I don't think there's a Frost Maiden left. It looks like she probably broke off the battlefield. We're getting yet another Earthblood, so just saving those Earthbloods for the late game, realising, hey, my halberds are what's going to win me this game, is really quite clutch now. The Warbears are getting closer and closer to breaking these halberds of each charge. They're also getting closer and closer to dying, which is unfortunate, and I don't think they themselves have many heals. And at this late stage, Miao Ying might be able to solo this, because the Warbears are so weak. One unit halberds, it may break here. It is getting exhausted. They are currently on fire, which isn't really where anyone wants to be. And looks like we do have some spearmen rallying and coming back into the main fight. Warbears continue to hound and harass, though, jumping units every single second they get. And it looks like the Unbreakable trait has kicked in. Constantine has got that perfect favor. Yet another Earthblood comes into the game. And I think that is going to be all she wrote. Love that Kislev build. It was super awesome stuff. And very Chad build. But, you know, I think considering, like, the build he was up against, I'm actually very impressed. Because of Calibrimbo managed to get this far, but Human Boy, he played an outstanding game himself. And he's even going to show off and do a little bit of fireworks by transforming into a dragon in the latter stages of this battle. Oh, beautiful stuff with the mountain backdrop there and the storm in the skies. She not only is the storm, she brings the storm, and there is no calm in this Eye of the Storm. Well played. That was a fantastic game to both Calibrimbo and Human Boy. Yes, yes. And it is setting up for a Khorne Grand Cathay Finals. Oh, baby. This is going to be insane. No Kislev Chad's not nice. It was a Chad build. I love this build. Coming in from Calibrimbo. He did so well there. 1.5k on Constantine. 1.9k on the Frostman. I really feel like just one more Heart of Winter and Sheep and they win the game. I think using the damage direct spells onto Miao Ying and basically any other spell was pointless. Just keep that big damage spell going in because the Halberds are so much here. 1.3k and 1.2k on the Warbear Rider. 250 and 270 kills. A lovely work there. 1,000 value on the Light War Sleds and 733 with 71 and 117 kills. Wing Lancers did a decent job, mid-hundreds value-wise. I don't find them as useful in land battles as I do domination. 160 kills in the Corsairs is pretty crazy, and 111, but most of them seem to be against peasants due to their value. And 666, it looks like we actually have an undercover Chaos Lord cult amongst the Kislev army. For Miao Ying herself, she got 2.4k gold value. Love the combination of Human Boy bringing her in both dragon and human form. Kind of bouncing between the two really nicely. 2.4k value. Crane Gunners got jumped. 760 value on them. Crossbowmen did okay. Halberds, of course, amazing. With 1.2, 2,000, and 1.7 gold value on them. And I think that is the standouts here. Yeah, Peasant Longsword did pretty damn good as well. 1.2k value is some insane value on such a unit. So well played, Human Boy. Fantastic game. And also well played to Calibrimbo there, who will be bouncing out, but doing a fantastic showing, and I think one of his first tournaments, really quite fantastic. And nowadays, Golden Floof versus Human Boy, yes, yes, in the final on Watcher Ruin. Is this glorious map here? Is the Zinch Wasteland. So quickly going to update the names here. So well played, Cal, you did a great job. Oh, I've also got the Golden Floof for some reason already on there. I didn't change it last time. So Human Boy. There we go. Human Boy is the one who won that round. Apologies about not changing the names. That is a Ducky classic. Cool. And there we go. I'm going to take 2 minutes just to rest my legs. Yeah, those cheap Earthbloods were pretty clutch. It probably kept the Halberds fighting. Yeah, Human Boy played like a beast there for sure. He played like a beast. Boxes for Dowry players. Logic comes in as a Dowry player. Boxes are for Chads. That's Total War in a nutshell. What, like people boxing? Half people hating boxing, half people loving boxing. But yes, hope you guys are enjoying so far as we're going to the grand finals. I'm going to have to step my drink. I'm going to take a 2-minute break. Rest my knees. They are absolutely burning right now. It is Grand Cathay versus Khorne. Who's your money on? In fact, let's do a little poll quickly. Let's create a channel poll for you guys. Who will win? Is it Khorne? Or is it Cathay? Had great fun in your first tournament, mate. You played amazing for your first tournament, dude. Very impressed. Yeah, Intensity still has like a ladder system. It depends what you're after. Like, there's no like way of doing like a chilled ladder, if you know what I mean. So you can host a custom lobby and play your games that way, which is fine. I've done that quite a lot. If you want to like play like super competitive, then you can go like Intensity's ladder. But yeah, if you want some like a chilled sesh, just like a vibing free round battles, you just got to do it in a custom lobby now. Which is fine, honestly, just host a custom lobby and just say anyone welcome, and you just bounce between games. Oh my god, it's 50-50 on the votes so far, after 22 votes. Virgin Box over Chad Pike Circle? Hey, Chad Pike Circles are awesome. They're awesome. Oh, my phone just died. I'm sorry, I need to go get my phone charger quick. Currently not see your glorious people's messages. Let me charge my phone. was going to do that before the stream, but we ended up starting stream quite a bit early. So I will let that phone charge, and I'll be back with you guys in chat. But at the moment, I am blind to your shenanigans, but let's delve into the battle nonetheless. So, for the forces of Human Boy, we just saw his build, so we'll go over it incredibly briefly. It is Crane Gunners, which I love, Miao Ying, who is awesome, a load of Jade Warrior Crossbowmen who are here to be chads, a load of Halberds as well, who are pretty badass, and a load of Jade Warriors and Peasant Archers and Peasant Horsemen and Longswordmen who don't get as many praises from me, because I've run out of praises to give them. The force, this is going to be interesting, like, can Khorne grind through the enemy quick enough? We've got double Furies up in the skies to harass the enemy range troops, as well as an Exotic Bloodthirster, and Golden Floof has used this guy super aggressively all day, so excited to see how he performs. We have Chaos Warriors of Khorne down in the middle, including one dual weapons and some halberds. We have double Spawn of Khorne, who are going to get their asses lit on fire from the crossbowmen, I feel. Double Chorus of Khorne, double Flesh Hounds, who do actually have Vanguard deployment. So I would maybe risk like deploying them behind the enemy a little bit. There's some like pretty big room for Vanguard on this map. So yeah, applying pressure from all sides with the Furies and the Hounds is probably the way to go. And it's not like Cathay has anything to counter the Hounds with. Oh, I can hear my housemates screaming in the distance. I've got double Coast of Khorne down on the ground as well. So pretty excited to see how this one goes. Who's your money on, lads? Who is your money on? Definitely going to be like a defensive display, I think, from Grand Cathay, as much as physically possible. And they are lurking in the trees, waiting in ambush mode, of course. A nice little bit of a rocky terrain blocking the map as well. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is awesome. I love the fact they've added these kind of like animated monsters and stuff into a lot of the maps. There's a core map where there's like a giant worm. Like, it's... I don't want to say what it looks like, because I don't want to get like demonetized. But a giant scary worm-looking creature on one of the core maps, which is really freaking awesome. We've got these like little eels here. It'd be super cool if like these terrain pieces did stuff. So like if you were standing next to this, you slowly took damage because these fins were attacking you, but it granted you like magical attacks or something because of the poison in their fangs or something along those lines. Also with the trees and stuff. Basically like what they do on tabletop, I think would be quite good fun. Oh, we also have a pretty cool ruin over here. This looks pretty badass. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Look at the eyes. Switching around. Little mini tower. I like it. So Khorne, certainly... Oh, the sky as well, say before. But yeah, Khorne themselves are going to have to get super aggressive. They will grind through Jade Warriors relatively quickly, but is it going to be quick enough? Because there's so much bowfire coming their way. Double Furies can fly forward. Flesh Hounds as well might want to rip around early on. Like, your opponent's going to know you have them, so you might as well push forward and engage. Grand Cathay can move around to the left-hand side as much as physically possible. Definitely would prefer to see the Flesh Hounds like back here, just waiting, maybe in these trees or something. So they could jump on their opponents as early as possible. But Grand Cathay, yeah, simply going to be pushing forward as well. Khorne coming around one side of this mound. Cathay thinking, you know what, we're going to move around the left-hand side as much as possible. If I'm Khorne in this instance, I'm probably just going for a flank overload and like just smashing this half the build into my entire army. Yes, I allow your opponent to like onion a bit and like crossfire, but it's only like 3 archers. If you can claim like half the army in one go, it would probably be worth it. Miao Ying's going to be falling back, as well as the Peasant Horseman. Looks like the entire build's going to be rotating around a little bit. And the Flesh Hound's not going to be able to find a good way in, at least in the early stages. But definitely want to, you know, stay on alert and push forward where possible. I feel like these Peasant Horsemen get a little bit too over-eager, like driving out like this. Just jump them with a double Flesh Hound and a unit of Furies and they die. But it looks like Human Boy does realise this and decides to fall back as quickly as possible. Hey, it looks like my phone is back up and running, so I can see you guys all again on chat. Let's get that open. Looks like Crossbowmen will be opening up shots. Yeah, aiming for the spawn, aiming for anything really in this build's pretty decent value. I am expecting to see some rather angry bloodletter summons though to take down the enemy infantry. Certainly could do pretty good. God, you love the trap? What's the trap? Khorne mob plus infantry equals Cathay. We'll have to see how it goes. So the Peasant Longspearmen are about to be jumped by the Spawn of Khorne, though. I feel like the Spearmen can do a decent job against all of them, but the Spawn are actually able to push through here and jump on top of the Jade Warriors, which is not going to go too well for them whatsoever. The Furies as well are going to dive in, just diving down on the enemy archers, which is good play. It looks like the trap's been sprung pretty early here, and the Crane Gunners are also under a significant threat, and it seems like the Horsemen are kind of way out of position. I'm not sure what they're doing over here. Definitely be behind these archers and looking to protect them where possible, and this is going to be huge. Oh, so nasty. We're going to see a Talons go down, catching out the Halberds. It does also kill their own unit pretty badly, but at this point, Cathay have units to burn, so You know, if you get rid of a unit of halberds for a unit of your halberds, that is some stonky value. Value-wise, is certainly in favor of Human Boy at the moment as well. Miao Ying is able to try to rectify some of the pressure in the back. Bloodletters, though, halve their way through some of the peasant archers as the spawn continue to move in. We've got halberds in the back, though, as well as more spawn who need to keep pushing aggressively forward. And we've got the dual flesh hounds moving into position now. Peasant horsemen will lose one-on-one, but they can slow them down. So if Gonflu's careful, yeah, rip around and really bomb dive in with these Furies as well, you could see some real dangerous value start to add up here. In the trees, Miao Ying is devouring a cultist of corn, which is not good news for her. He's got a Bloodthirster doing a decent job, though, grinding his way through the infantry. Nice explosion there as well. Chaos Warriors should be able to win that fight. Got some halberds from Floof just vibing, though, and dual weapons. They need to be moving super aggressively. Like, it is pedal to the metal type time. Like, you have to flood this range core as quickly as possible, and then hopefully allow the, you know, your infantry to grind through the enemy infantry in the late game. Flesh Hound's going to be moving in. They are jumping on top of the Crane Gunners. That is a dead unit of Crane Gunners. Bloodletters probably want to move into the Halberds at this point. If the back line's compromised like this, we'll just move through and start killing as much infantry as possible. Fury's up in the skies. It looks like Gonfloof has activated his units game, which is really good to see. And the dual weapon's going to be jumping on top of the Halberds, easily kind of dragging them to pieces. The Peasant Longspear doing a decent job against the spawn, though, but Khorne continues to pour in. Very close game so far. Damage value is pretty much neck and neck. Flesh Hound's going to be bouncing back and forth on top of all these crossbow units. And the Bloodthirster, he's a little isolated here, particularly because the Bloodletters are about to go down, and he's going to get stuck by Miao Ying. He has double crossbowmen shooting at him. He needs to pull back and get back to the homies as quickly as possible. But as we've seen in previous games, Gonfloof's not scared to get his Exiled Bloodthirster right into the thick of the action. Furies are chasing off some more archers, but yeah, good play here. Getting these units back in which are chasing around and like shutting down these enemy crossbowmen is pretty key right now. We have Spawn on the way, Chaos Warriors on the way. It looks like the dual weapons are having a fantastic day up against the halberds. That is a perfect counter to the halberds, actually. They're going to be grinding through them pretty damn quickly. Jade Warrior is not going to be enjoying that fight whatsoever. It looks like Khorne has won a lot of that far flank, and they are now shutting down these enemy crossbowmen, which is good to see. Bloodthirst of those taking significant damage, and remember, Miao Ying's got all that healing as well for the late game, so she might be able to carry roughly like she did in that previous game as well. Apologies there about the coughing. The Flesh Hounds are able to jump on top of the crossbowmen once more. I love that late game just push around there. And yeah, the Warriors of Khorne doing a decent job. Remember, there's lots of Talon still left. We haven't seen that much magic from Miao Ying yet, saving it for the late game. We've only seen one summon from the cultists. Do we have two cultists, or do we only have the one? I might be tripping here. I think we only have... Oh, we do have two cultists. I've only seen one summon, so maybe a late game summon could be really huge to take down halberds. Peasants going down. The Bloodthirsters are really low HP-wise, though. We can see a lot of units are starting to rally as well for Grand Cathay, and they are taking away here on the damage of value trait. Flesh Hounds shine down a lot of these back units, as well as the Furies. Halberd is, though, fine. Peasant Longsword isn't obviously the best news. Remember, this damage value is slightly inflated, though, I think, because they did also attack the summoned unit, and I believe they count towards that damage value. I'm not entirely sure on that. Flesh Hounds are able to waver some Peasant Archers, although it looks like a lot of the backline pressure is kind of dying now for Khorne, and there's still Jade Warrior Crossbowmen on the battlefield because, Human Boys got some good micro, keeping those bad boys alive. In the middle of the fight here, though, cultists are grinding through halberds is some good play. I like this as well. Just, get your Bloodthirst over here and break off as many units as possible. And the dual weapons are still having a decent day. They are up to 157 kills, but they're getting a little bit tired because they've been fighting quite a bit all battle. So I think we have one Bloodletter summon left. So it's kind of crazy. Balance power is really heavily Cathay favoured. Damage value is really heavily Cathay favoured. Doesn't look that terrible for Khorne, though. Particularly if they've got a summon left. I guess they're going to get kited now by the crossbows and archers. Yeah, they're kind of dragging out in different directions. I like this play a lot by Human Boy. Like, pull your units in into different directions and then just, shoot in and try to eviscerate the enemy where you can. Now, Miao Ying is flying high up in the sky. She is very healthy, and the Exiled Bloodletter is no longer healthy whatsoever. Still a far superior duelist, though. Particularly if supported by the dual cultists of Khorne, he might be able to take down Miao Ying. At least that's the hope. But Miao Ying trying to take away those support units and hunt down the cultists where possible. There's lots of damage going in. I think we're about to see the dragon maybe try to go back into human form, which she does. That's a bold move. So now she can do her Earth Bloods again, but the Bloodletter is going to destroy her. Particularly the support of the cultists. Very risky play there. I think she should have flown away and done that from a safer distance. Halberds are in the action, as well as the spawn, pinning a lot of these units. We are going to get a lovely, lovely talent. Chef's kiss there to the Cathay General as they just destroy this unit of halberds. A lot of friendly fire on the Jade Warriors as well, though, which less keen on. And there's lots of spearmen who can come back here Yeah, at this point, Khorne has to kill Miao Ying. They have to do it and then try and get a big tear out, because a lot of these guys are really beat up and kind of mid to low tier trash. The Miao Ying has to go down, and she has to go down now if Floof wants any way of winning this. And the Cole is applying a lot of decent pressure to the enemy crossbow is nice. If he has a summon left in the tank, he needs it now, but I don't think he does. I think he probably used it up earlier on. And we do get yet another Earthblood come down. The Bloodthirster is trying his best. Miao Ying is taking considerable damage, down to below half HP. In fact, taking big chunks right now. A lot of crossmen left alive, though, so he's got to kill Miao Ying, somehow get on top of all these units, and cause a tear out. It's looking very bad for the forces of Khorne, who are very close to gold damage value-wise. It's an incredibly close fight between these lads. The Warriors easily going to be able to take down the crossbowmen. Cultist of Khorne is in the mix as well. The Bloodthirster is trying his hardest, but now look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units rally to the Dragon Empress, trying to support the mighty Dragon Queen herself against the Bloodthirster, and I think it's going to be enough, perhaps, as she does manage to escape there, only just. Cultist doing a decent job there. The Bloodthirster does get away. It looks like the crossbowmen are about to be jumped. Miao Ying can, of course, heal up now, which is a big problem. You can see Human Boy dragging his forces into one blob. We're most likely going to see a big fat Earthblood, I think, go down on all these units. We've got a lot of halberds left. Now just keep them around nice and topped up and ready for action. So we still have 56 Chaos Warriors here. The cultists are pretty nasty. And Jade Warriors are going to be going down to this angry cultist as well. He's having a way of a time. He's surrounded by enemies. Blood for the Blood God. Skulls for the Skull Throne. And big old axe in the face for you, good sir. We are about to see a dragon mode formed again from Miao Ying, which probably means she's out of most winds of magic. Maybe she's got 1 talent left for this unit of Chaos Warriors. And that does give her a lot more damage output. Now, the Bloodthirster still is scary, but doesn't have that much HP left, realistically. About 1,000 less than the enemy general. And it is going to allow Human Boy to keep the Bloodthirster away from the crossbows, which is certainly good news. So I think this is going to be GG's. Unless, if there is a Bloodletter summon, and Floof has got, like, the triple Giga Chad brain, 20,000 IQ play, and he's been saving it for a big bunch out like this, so he can summon the Bloodletters and kill all the infantry. If that is the case, I'm impressed, but I think I probably just missed that second summon early on. The Druid 20 stacks still dominating? Oh, for sure, in land battles, yeah, 20 stacks is still very powerful indeed. Particularly with certain factions like Grand Cathay. Grand Cathay, like, the easiest to fit into Warhammer 2 meta, I would argue. His Bloodthirster does kill the Jade Warrior crossbowman, just break him off the battlefield. He's taking a lot of damage here, though. Chaos Warriors do grind their way through the archers, but Miao Ying flying around like this is quite problematic. She sends the cultists flying. Bloodthirster's going to have to come in for the Giga Chad push, I think, to save the cultist, but the cultist is he's in a cannon zone. The Chaos Warriors are pushing into the enemy archers as well, looking to overwhelm them. Warriors are allegedly rallying, but I think that's a Grand Cathay. Yeah, Jade Warriors come back into the action. They can smell that juicy victory in the air, and Bloodthirster does clatter down into some crossbow and doing a good job. Been really impressed with Floof all tournament. I think this is the first tournament I've seen him in, but alas, he's going to fall. And Human Boy, yes, 100% human, 100% human. Definitely not a rat. Is definitely not a sneaky Skaven. Is going to be taking victory there in the name, of course, of the horned rat of humankind. Oh, looks like we've got a bot here. Hello, webcam. Hot boys and girls, I appreciate that you're inclusive. Let's report you. There you go. Have indeed been banned. What's up, Cypher? How's it going, champ? Unfortunately, you've made it just to the end of the video. Did the patch today fix issues for people? Haven't really had any. I haven't had too many issues today. We've had a few lag issues, but nothing too crazy. Man, that was a game. Holy crap. Holy crap. We still have a few things to do left on the stream, guys, as well, so sit tight, but beautiful game by both these players as well. Like, well played by Human Boy. He, of course, is the GOAT of Grand Cathay. I'd argue Grand Cathay as well, like, probably the closest he has to his main faction for Warhammer 2. I don't know if he'd agree with that. Because Cathay is close to Dwarfs and Skaven, yeah, it's like a... I don't know, I feel like you can play them roughly Skaven like as well, though. Just go really wide and bring a load of like range power. 2.9k on Miao Ying. 195 kills is pretty ridiculous. Unfortunately, the Crane Gunners got dumps in like every game we saw, which is really sad because they look so cool. 620, 460 value on some of the crossbowmen. Basically mid-hundreds. What I like about this build is just damage across the board. Everyone gets involved. It's a big party. 920 value on this unit of Jade Warriors. And is there anything else that stands out? Not really, just good shared damage. And obviously Miao Ying is like your heavy hitter, so Very impressed. Well played, Human Boy. Yes, yes. He is the winner of our first one build battle royale. I believe he's probably won some more before in the past as well. You're definitely going to be seeing him in more tournaments around on my channel. 2.7k and 146 kills from the Exiled Bloodthirster. Really been impressed on how Floof used him today. The Spawn, 146 and 165 kills, though the value is pretty meh. I mean, 900 value is good, but 140 is pretty meh. They cleared out a lot of chaff, and that was very important for them. 730 and 180 kills on the dual weapons, and I don't think the other infantry's done too much. 125 and 68 kills from the cultists, because they're there for the summon as well. 740 and 470 value on them. 780 on the basic warriors. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff indeed. So very well played. Thank you for everyone who did play today. And a massive shout out to Human Boy for being the victor of this glorious tournament that we're going to be looking to do more and more into the future. So now before you guys go, if you're not tired of Warhammer action, I am going to release a video, I think, in just a second. So I will pin that, and then I need your help. I need all of you guys to rally. What we're going to do, apart from liking and subscribing the stream, by plugging myself there, but what we're going to do is we're going to raid Turin, and we're just going to yell quack at him, because I don't think he's quite started his stream yet, but maybe we've timed this well. So let me quickly make this video go live, and then let's go on a bit of a raid. So if you want to see more action from me, and want to see some really funny Nurgle like chitin tactics and so forth, you can follow this link guys here. I can mute myself on the video. Bam, bam, bam. Here we go. So here's a on my knees. I'm afraid I cannot do a free for right now. My legs are just like broken. I apologize, guys. So here is a link to my video if you would like to check it out. Just dropped right now. Or if you want to see more live stream action, we're going to go raid Turin. So I need you guys, I need your help. We need to go over here and just yell quack. Just spam quack. I will be there as well, but as many quacks as you can muster. Obviously don't after a minute or so, don't keep spamming him. But cool. So all these links here at the bottom, the last two links, top two links are for my video that's just dropped. Bottom two are to go stream snipe Turin. I'll meet you guys over there. Until next time, thank you again for all the support. It's really massively appreciated. And until next time, guys, peace, peace. And as always, stay awesome.